got some predictions we're going to go over. If I read my Olli predictions, you can see it over in the description on the YouTube channel. Underneath the coffee button, we'll read out those donations a little bit. But let's have a look at Olli's predictions. Feel free in chat while I read these out to go what I say, yes, no. Okay? So here's my predictions. Let me know what you think. NYX System announcement. Oh, shoot. Hang on. We've all been there. That is amazing. This is so good. Oh, I love the community, man. They're so clever. Anyway, NYX System Coming. That's my prediction. Like an announcement, not necessarily today or anything like that, but just like, oh, it's coming in the next patch, or here it is. Some gameplay of NYX. Next up, a new ship. Small ship. So, small level ship, I expect. Announcement. We'll get some ships. We'll get 2 ships, I think. We'll get a smaller one with an LTI token. And a big boy ship, I've called it. So we'll get a tour of it. Maybe a closer look at the galaxy or something. That would be interesting. RSI Salvager will be the smaller ship, I presume. Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you want to enter the giveaway, we do have a giveaway available. Check the pinned comment on YouTube. You can join in and win a goodies pack. One of the ships announced today, which I don't know, so it could be expensive. Hope it's not too big. And some flare items, courtesy of the impound, which links are all down below. Next up, this is a big doubt, but hope. So I doubt it, but I'm hoping. Base building. Let's talk about it. I can't be the only one. I really, really, really hope. I doubt base building. I would love some base building content. I don't think we'll see it. I really don't. I really hope I'm wrong. We'll see. Next up, engineering gameplay. I think we'll have a segment, 20 minutes, half an hour maybe, of engineering, and it'll be like a key focus of the presentation. We've seen a lot of engineering over the past few months. It was in testing. It's been at various CitizenCons. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some engineering gameplay video. I suspect. You know, like a gameplay segment or something. Sorry, one moment. Sorry. Next up, some new armor. So this is a bit of a wild card, but I expect to see some new armor. Specifically, maybe some new tech. So like a reason why it's different. So we'll see, have a segment on like new armor, and there's something different about it. Oh, I'll be quiet, sorry. Oh, this is amazing. It's like an animation. This is sick. Yes. I love the fact that CRG put that in. Okay, this is brilliant. That's great. That's amazing. So yeah, some new armor with a gameplay feature implication. That would be cool. Like maybe stealth, but actual like have some you know, gameplay side of it. Planet tech. We've seen forests and tropical biomes, so maybe some gameplay of that. Planet tech is kind of a cool one. Another wild card. Let me know what you think about this. A Vanduul drop. So Vanduul are coming. A gameplay PU thing of Vanduul. A Vanduul mission. A Vanduul turning up. Maybe in the engineering section. Could be a good prediction. But yeah, some kind of Vanduul weapon maybe that someone picks up, or just a segment. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to see that. That's a wild card though. I'm not expecting that, but that would be neat, right? That'd be pretty cool. Social update. So this I really hope, but I'm doubting. So, org, social, implementation, example, again, maybe within the engineering gameplay segment, they show some of the social stuff that's coming, org gameplay stuff, guilds, yeah, all that stuff. I would expect to see something like that in the future. Whether we'll get it today, I'm not sure. I would really like to see it though. And then last one, personal favorite. I put this in at the end. Personal hangar updates. So maybe some gameplay look at personal hangar customization. That would be pretty sick. So these are my predictions. Any of you got something I haven't thought of? Please put it in the comment section. I'd love to hear it. Vanduul heavy fighter for the big ship. Could be. That's quite a long list that I've done. So I don't think we'll see all of it. It would be pretty cool if we did. But yeah. Just want to say before we begin, thank you so much for being part of the stream. This is really nice. This is such a good, nice moment for me to have you guys with me. So I appreciate it very much. And let's have a good CitizenCon Direct together, yeah? But yeah, thank you so much. Cyborg, Delta, thank you for subscribing. This is good. I love stuff like this.
One day.
That's hilarious. Let's read chat here. My first CitizenCon. Good afternoon, Olli. Let's chat. Afternoon, Olli and chat. Let's go. Do you think there'll be more NPC AI tech stuff? Yeah, potentially. It's 2 hours. So, and like I said this in the pre-show, I wouldn't be surprised if we I wouldn't be surprised if we see some... I forgot my train of thought. Sorry, chat. I got a message and I got distracted. Neil, I did promote the Discord, yeah. Sorry, that was a Discord ping. What was I saying? Chokehold, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Interesting name. Brandon, thank you for subscribing to the channel. AI NPC. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like AI blades maybe mentioned. That could be interesting. Starships. Personal bubble shield. What, like Master Chief? That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. Imagine if they had server, like a 30k thing that pops up. That'd be amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. I feel like we need better music at this point. I feel like that we should have the like orchestral big build now. You know? This is the time. Let me know how the audio is. I might crank it a little bit. There we go. I'm pretty excited, I'm not gonna lie. Parachutes. Parachutes was one of mine. Parachutes would be good. Can we have parachutes, please? That would be pretty good. Do you remember space stations? Yes. I don't think we'll see any space station stuff today. I'd be shocked if we did, honestly. And I would react heavily. Crossbow was another one. Yes, please. Here we go. 30 seconds remaining. Now's the time. Get your predictions in chat. Because it's all recorded. You got, like, everything is being recorded, chat, so feel free. Wingsuits. I think that's a wild card. I don't think we're seeing wingsuits. Guys, if you haven't already, please remember to thumbs up the stream. I don't know if this is the second biggest CitizenCon stream, but let's make it. Like, thumbs it up. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. 10 seconds. It's been good, guys. Good luck. Here we go.
This year has
Chris!
marked a turning point in Star Citizen's history, We have finally moved past the question of whether we can build an architecture to deliver a universe with incredible detail at massive scale, seamlessly, and where thousands of people can all play together. Server meshing has been working pretty much flawlessly at scale for the past 9 months. It has brought a more populated and active verse with up to 700 players online and in the same space at once.
That's true.
It's greatly increased server performance and delivered a much more responsive player experience. I couldn't be prouder of the team. They delivered something no other online game does presently. There may be other games out there that claim large player counts, or even the ability to mesh, but none do it at our detail, scale, and seamlessness.
That's
right. Of
right.
course, there will be continued improvements to server meshing and to Star Engine, but having moved past this last big technological hurdle has allowed us to finally focus on quality of life and stability improvements, something that has long been overdue. We're about to deliver our 9th patch in 10 months, with content that has brought Star Citizen storytelling into new and exciting directions. We pushed more than 24 features and more than 2,000 bug fixes. And while there is still a long way to go, the game has gotten more stable, performant, and fun as a result. We see this in player metrics.
I agree.
More of you play every day. The daily average users is up 45% from last year, and your play time is up 15%. So more people venture out into the verse and stay there longer than ever before. And through all that, we've told the dual stories of the Frontier Fighters Assault on Pyro and the moral compromises being made to combat the regen crisis. Now, as those stories come to a rest for the time being, it's time to look forward to the next chapter of Star Citizen, where the instability in Pyro and the callous actions of some pave the way to new adventures, new locations, and new threats. Last year, we announced our next Star System would be NYX, home to the People's Alliance of Levski and bordering the Vanduul threat. Today, we're proud to share that your adventures in NYX begin not next year, but next month. And Star Citizen's 3rd system comes online in Alpha 4.4. 2 new systems in 1 year. That's only possible because of the tireless work of our development teams, server meshing accelerating what's possible, the support teams behind the scenes, and most importantly, all of you. Now, I do miss that we're not all together under one roof this year, but in many ways, we're more connected than ever. Across the globe, many of you are gathering at watch parties, 9 of them with our developers in attendance, and countless others springing up in communities everywhere, and all happening simultaneously today. So even if we're separated by oceans and continents, we're bound together by the same passion for space, for discovery, and for this incredible universe we're building together. Whether you're at home or alongside your crew at a watch party, grab a drink, sit back, and let us take you inside our up-and-coming plans for the next year of Star Citizen.
What a bloody good opener, Chris. Oh, by the way, NYX is coming. Sorry, audio. They didn't tell me about that. That audio was all over the place. Holy NYX! In 4.4? Chat! That's wild! What? I said strong opener. They freaking delivered a strong opener. Yes, Chris. I love the fact he was like really complimentive of his... That was the Paladin. Oh, we're getting the NYX opener. Holy shoot, it's actually coming.
With the foundational technology now in place, the content development of the game is no longer restricted, allowing us to forge ahead with building out our first 5 star systems. NYX will see the much-loved Levski landing zone added back to the verse, while also bringing you one of its most iconic landmarks, the Glacium Belt. Here, you'll experience a new combined arms operation that will introduce new factions and new adventures for you to discover. With this edition of our 3rd star system, we're also going to do something that's at the heart of the entire Star Citizen experience, and that is to build it right in front of you. As we have done this year, with the addition of several major locations, such as the Hathor facility or the Lazarus complex, we will continue to unveil new NYX content throughout the year.
Cool.
It's a slightly different approach to how we delivered Pyro, but we feel this gets the content into your hands sooner and shows our intent as we continue our march towards 1.0. I'm so incredibly proud of the work our teams have done and are continuing to do, and we're excited to have you on this next step of our journey. And as with any journey in Star Citizen, that begins with a little story.
A story? So NYX is coming, just not finished. They're going to build it in front of us, not like Pyro. So Pyro is... Story so far. We got 2 hours. Don't do this. Unless this is short. Don't do this.
In 2025, we introduced
Okay.
2 major storylines
In 2025.
spanning multiple patches.
We're not going back that far.
Creating a living
Okay.
backbone for adventure across the universe. The first was Pyro Must Burn. It connected Stanton to Pyro and introduced the Frontier Fighters, who are relentless, brutal, and determined to wipe out any threats that cross them. And with this month's release, you'll now take part in the conclusion to that storyline. The
Nice.
second was Science Run Amok, with the regen crisis throwing the Empire into chaos, and you all jumping in to help the various corporations respond. Through that journey, we pulled back the curtain on ASD and its shady practices, uncovering long-forgotten Onyx facilities, and met new characters like Dr. Logan Yorit and Detective Arkham Mella of the Hokro Agency. And just like the Pyro Must Burn storyline carried us into a new system, Science Run Amok is now setting the stage for NYX, the next step in the larger story we're telling on the road to 1.0. As this new chapter of Star Citizen begins, let's hear from just a few of the team members working to bring this next era of our universe to life.
Oh shoot, we're actually going to NYX. Yes.
When the NYX system was first discovered, the United Empire of Earth, the UAE, came out and did scans and kind of found out that the system wasn't really worth settling. The planets were too hard to terraform, the resources were too tough to get.
I don't like that.
So they opened it up.
That ship does nothing.
And one company saw opportunity where the UE didn't,
that looks so
QB
cool.
Planet Services. And so they expanded into the system and tried to mine as much as they could, making a very slim margin by the sheer quantity of resources they were pulling out.
This is very cool.
The system itself sort of ran its course from sort of a large corporate interest perspective, and then was mostly left abandoned.
Now this ended up being the ideal situation for the People's Alliance, who were a group of revolutionaries who were trying to overthrow the dictatorship of the Messer regime that was going on in the Empire at the time.
So they went to the NYX system and established what became known as Levski. They wanted to make it everything that the UEE wasn't at this time.
I love this, by the way.
They set up what they saw as their ideal society, where everyone's voices would be heard, where everyone would be equal. But they've fallen onto hard times. So NYX today is kind of at an interesting point in its history. Now that the UEE has kind of transformed itself into a democratic society, what is their role? What are the People's Alliance rebelling against? And they still see the Empire as being inherently unfair. They see their role as still trying to create a free and fair society. But on the other hand, they have more problems than ever, and there's new threats lurking around every corner. And they have to ask, are they prepared to handle that? Or do they need to turn to the UEE for help?
Damn. I love this backstory. It's great. Okay.
Making a star system is you approach it from kind of 2 angles in a weird way. What is this system bringing to the gallery? How does this new system plug into it, and what does it bring to the table from a sort of a flavor experience? We want to make sure that whatever it's bringing to the company is unique and has some flair to it.
So the NYX system is a remote system where people want to go and live free outside of the pressure and influence of the UEE. It's a remote and rugged system with a lot of hostility coming from the ever-present threat of Vanduul.
It's kind of like a frontier-esque thing. It's not lawless like Pyro, it's just kind of out there. Pyro's more like a Mad Max wasteland, and NYX is more like Silverado or like Deadwood, right? It's kind of like a smaller scope.
The emptiness and the loneliness is the defining factor. You're still going to find gangs, you're still going to find hostile presences, but it's where people go if they want to live off the grid.
The People's Alliance is the main peacekeeping force in NYX.
They were unhappy with the direction that the Empire was going under the Messers. They got out. They said, we're just going to start from scratch, build our own
With
society,
blackjack.
but build it the way that we think it needs to be built.
They're not perfect. They're just people, but they're doing their best. They want to help keep NYX safe and make it prosper.
They are trying to do the best that they can, but are faced with the realities of dealing with people, which is tricky.
Amen to that. Oh, this is
The
great.
Pyro star is quite a warm star. Stanton star is quite neutral. And the NYX is a little bit cooler.
Okay. So it's going to be chilly, boys.
The system
Bring a
has
coat.
star, and it has this dark, really, really dense gas sort of nebulous cloud. And it has points of light scattered around it, and those points of light in this gas cloud is really, really hazy.
Oh, good. So I can
So
fly into
because
more
NYX
asteroids.
is bordering Vanduul space, it was important that we have a gap in the NYX gas cloud where you could sort of just, in between the clouds, see a piece of the Vanduul space.
Oh, shoot.
It feels so close that it's even like protruding some red light.
I love that. Bit of danger on the
The
side.
level designers are using it as an actual visual indicator of where to place more dangerous POIs. So if you point your ship in the direction of it, you should find, as we build it out, that you will be in more and more danger. And I think that's really cool.
Okay. Okay, that's something to
give more
remember.
atmosphere, I was testing out adding some sort of space snowflakes, essentially. So when you look towards the sun, you can sort of see that sort of like sparkle. But then when you look away from the sun, you'll see the reflections and sort of like little glints of light.
Oh, the visual
For
stuff.
the jump points in NYX, we'll have 2 on this release. We'll have 1 from Pyro to NYX and 1 from Stanton to NYX. It should be going from NYX to Castra, but we're essentially bypassing Castra temporarily.
Hey, we want to make sure you can get there any way you want.
Oh, shoot. So you can get there from Stanton or
Glacian
Pyro.
Belt
That's awesome.
is a huge asteroid belt that is in sort of the middle of the system.
The Glacian Belt is a combination of a bunch of technologies that we already had. The asteroid fields we use for planetary rings and the gas clouds. And it's combining them to make something completely new that we've just not seen before.
It's full of resources that are still left unharvested because it's kind of a tricky spot for mining. It's not the easiest place to go, but that means that there's still a lot of opportunity for independent miners to go out there.
Nice.
So the rocks in NYX are a bit more sharp, like sorts of like icy look, rocky, cliff-like, very different.
I wonder if
from
we'll get
those in the
exclusive
Pyro
materials in
and
NYX.
Stanton.
One of the big differences too is all of that extra added movement that just adds a little bit of extra flair.
It's also a
It
good
looks so
hiding spot
beautiful.
for people who are trying to elude capture, maybe set up ambushes, that type of stuff.
Always feel way more interesting flying in those spaces than just, through empty void.
And as we build out the Glacian Belt over the next year, lots of places to put new content.
Yeah, so this is important. So NYX is coming in the next
Delmar
patch.
is a very large
But it's not finished.
asteroid in the Glacian Belt that QV Planet Services had built a mining base on that got taken over by the People's Alliance and renamed Levski.
Oh, it looks so amazing. Look at that.
Levski is our first and biggest social outpost for NYX.
It's kind of like the place where you stop before you do your panning.
Looks
So
so
it's kind
good.
of San Francisco before you go out to the gold rush.
It's going to be the central hub for trade and hauling and all of the commerce within NYX and also from NYX to other systems. But it does have a CD underlayer to it.
Delicious.
Over the years, you're sort of improving the generation method of those asteroids to culminate towards this specific point to make large, explorable location.
Hey, I love the
When
look
you
of this.
fly towards
So
Levski,
much.
you see this huge gas ring around it, scattered small, mid-sized pieces of the asteroids.
Well, Levski is immediately apparently unique by the fact that it's It's a facility clamped onto the side of an asteroid. The breathtaking views of looking into the belt instantly gives it a unique charm and flavor.
Who in chat has been to Levski? Let me know.
You'll initially see a very dramatic borehole that goes all the way through the asteroid. You will also see, growing out from there and alongside Levski, there will be landing pads along what I'd call the spine.
Wow. That looks great.
Lots of industrial pipes and transport systems to bring out the refined mining materials.
Oh, that looks amazing. I love that.
Before, we were using an actual planet, so we had all of the space available to place all of these structures. But now it kind of meant that we had to create an asteroid which has the appropriate size to...
It looks so good.
If we took the whole shot of the asteroid, you will see that there is an area to fly underneath. We plan on bringing in Hull C gameplay. So this is exterior cargo elevators. So as a team, you will be able to load and unload cargo.
There's a lot more movement on the exterior, such as the cargo trains going around tracks. It's now going to be fully EVA-able. There will be walkways around the main landing zone to walk on using gravity plates, but you can drift off and kind of go wherever you want.
Nice.
They can explore fully the whole place, which is great.
I mean, it would take you a while in EVA, but you can. That's incredible artwork.
Unlike the majority of anarchists living in Pyro, there are people here in NYX that care.
It's not a downtrodden or derelict, dilapidated location. It has a sense of order.
But only where the People's Alliance has people living.
But we've had Levski before, and we've updated it quite substantially to be more in line with the newer features that have been put in since, but also visually, and there's been a lot of quality of life fixes that we've wanted to add and bring up to like a good standard for a landing zone.
Guys in chat, quickly.
In the main lobby of Levski is a large statue of Anthony Tanaka, who was a child worker.
And was being worked to death, all of them were. And Anthony Tanaka just had a break and just said no, and stood up against the foremen, the supervisors, the managers, the guards, and was killed for it. And so he became a sort of a figurehead.
And kind of
who remembers the performance around him?
Linchpin moments in seeing the fall
in the
of
old game, in the old Levski. Out of 10, how hyped are you for NYX? Please let me know. 10 for hype.
If you take the elevator up to the top deck, you'll see the top view and the cargo area as well. So you can go through the cargo shop. You've got your normal kind of cargo needs. You'll have ability to trade and buy your tractor beam and other gear that you need. So if you were to die in the NYX system, then one of the places you might come out from is the hospital in Levski, which is called the Mercy Hospital.
It looks so good.
So Mercy Hospital is just basically, it's a local med station for all the residents of Levski, anybody traveling through the system. Again, they're trying to provide as good medical help for people as they can.
Hope is here. I love that.
When you arrive at the HAB's location, you'll be presented with a lobby, elevator bank, and then you will take that transit to the HAB room. So within that room will be pods.
And that's where the original miners would have lived. They're not the nicest, and they're a bit messy, but they're a home for people in Levski.
It is what it is,
you
bro.
Head down to
You're
the
a spaceman.
lower view deck. You'll go through into the Grand Barter, which is your main social and commercial area of Levski.
This is where you will see market sellers selling their wares. There will be stalls. There will be kind of more embedded shops.
And that includes things like Corderies, which is your armor shop.
Nice.
And also conscientious objects, which is for weapons. There's also one of my favorite places, Cafe Musée, which is where you can go down into some of the more rocky depths and grab yourself a drink, and you never know who you meet down there.
Oh, missions. That's cool.
If you explore a bit more around the Grand Barter, there's other routes around and little side passages.
Okay.
There's another shop that's away from that area called Teachers.
Teach's Ship Shop is basically where you would go if you were looking to pick up a used ship, buy some ship parts, fix up your old ship, find some new stuff, sell some scrap.
We've closed up Dumpers Depot for Levski, and everything that used to be sold there will now be sold at Teachers. Another new area, as well as the cargo shop that we've added, is a refinery deck for Levski. That's where you can take your processed goods, not just from Levski, but from the rest of the NYX system, and refine and sell those goods there.
Sick.
As a lot of the content in the next coming releases for NYX is going to be mining related.
Cool.
So it's super
Miner's
important
paradise.
that Levski is a really nice hub for mining type of gameplay.
Honestly, that middle bit where you can.
So we're really happy
so
to bring
good.
Levski back into the game. It's been gone for quite a few years now.
I think it really provided a unique environment of it's run down, but the people who live there love it and are working their hardest to make it a great place to live.
This is a location that has a lot of nostalgia for you guys, and we don't want this just to be a re-release. We do want you to go, wow.
It's not going to be as complete as Pyro was when it first came out, but it's going to be our first iteration, and you're going to be able to see it grow as we work on it.
Like with everything, we're always learning and improving and finding new ways.
I mean, is there anything more Star Citizen than just building the system while the players watch us build it around them?
It's going to add a nice dynamic to Stanton and be a much more calming of, style system than Pyro.
The people that would have played it before are going to love to see this come back.
Oh, 100%.
And people that haven't seen it before,
100%.
it's going to be a great new location.
This is the first time that I'm going to be able to touch stuff and kind of bring my own content to the game, and that's really exciting to me.
Levski coming back into the game is a huge milestone personally for me. So I worked on the original quite some time ago, so seeing it come back and updated and improved
That's
and better
good.
is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Nice. I'm excited to get in there. It's so weird we're gonna have another system already. Like, we had Stanton, we had Pyro. I felt like that was gonna be it for ages, Am I the only one?
So we've talked about Levski, we've talked about the Glacian Belt, but you're probably asking yourself, what's the new gameplay activity we're going to be doing? So let's find out.
Welcome to
Hype.
NYX is your first experience in a new space station in a new solar system.
It's a mystery to be solved. There's things for the player to explore and look into. There's going to be some twists and turns, of course, some combat, and if you're lucky enough to survive, maybe some good rewards.
This is basically a continuation of kind of our ASD storyline. So in the closing out what we call our Science Run Amok storyline, we had revealed that ASD had been procuring sort of very black market illegal stuff in order to conduct their experiments. So this mission is basically going to be continuing on that trail.
So the Navy has learned that illegal tech is being sold in the UAE, and they're hiring Intersect to investigate. Intersect Defense Solutions is the leading military defense contractor in the UAE. So the Navy contracts with them a lot for doing various kind of military operations that they don't want to handle themselves. We didn't want players to be working directly for the Navy. The Navy just doesn't call up random citizens and ask like, hey, if you're free, can you fly a helicopter? I guess as a player, when you can think about like, oh, where am I going to be
Did he say helicopter?
Missions that are capital ship battles or large fleet scale stuff or military operations, that's all going to come from Intersect Defense Solutions.
Okay, cool.
Intersect have discovered the source of the illegal tech is in the NYX system and an old abandoned QV Planet Services logistics station that's come back online.
So they want the players to figure out what's going on.
Oh, space station.
So when you come out of Quantum and you start your approach vector to the objective, you'll be weaving through asteroids, going through the Glacian Belt, and slowly the station will reveal itself. Now this is an old QV logistics station. It's pretty beat up, it's pretty derelict, but there's some points of interest that you'll spot as you go through. So the station itself shares design cues from old Pan Am stations found in Pyro. This architectural design found its way over to the NYX system as the system was being established. But you'll also see some additional design cues that QV planetary services were adding, so it's a nice transition architectural point. It's fairly skeletal in design. You'll see logistics yards and cargo yards, but also facilities pinned inside the asteroid, creating this network of facilities. You'll notice there's a Polaris near the main hub. It's not a normal Polaris. It's damaged, it's broken. It's not a standard corporate Polaris. So at this point, you should be asking yourself, who does this belong to? Away from the Polaris, you'll see struts leading to asteroid bases. Now, these asteroid bases are locked, so you don't know exactly what's inside just yet. But all of this comes together to form the playground for the mission to take place. So not only is this facility unabandoned, but it's also under attack from a surprising but familiar foe.
I mean, more mission content is good. I'm excited about that. Oh shoot, what's happening? Vanduul! Oh! 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 What is happening?
For the first time in the PU, the Vanduul.
Oh boy!
So the Vanduul are a nomadic, very, very, very violent spacefaring race.
Is this actually
They've
happening?
been striking out against outposts and such in the NYX system. They don't really know what they want, don't know why they're doing it, but it seems like whoever's running the station is really pissed them off.
Vanduul raiding parties have been rioting in the system, and they're unaffiliated to any clan. There's small groups coming in and picking at them. But as time goes on, those raids are getting bigger and more frequent.
They'll be the scythes that you're familiar with, glaives and blades that we all know and hate.
Wait for it.
And a new craft for the PU, the Vanduul Stinger.
Oh no.
You will be contacted by some civilians on arrival asking you for help.
So at this point, you have a choice. You can
Help!
bug out, mission over, or join the fight. This will be the first time since the PU launched that you'll be able to fight against Vanduul aggressor ships.
This fight will be intense. The player should be able to deal with them, but they will have to be prepared and they'll have to come back in to fight off this initial wave, and that won't be the end of it.
I need more information about that Vanduul
After you
ship,
fight
man.
off the Vanduul ships, the mysterious inhabitants of the station invite you to come on board.
Which Intersect sort of will encourage you to do because it'll help further their investigation against what's happening here, why these QV stations have come back online.
You dock your ship, you board the station, and it turns out the inhabitants here have a real surprise for you.
The player will be immediately
new armor.
ambushed. These guys are not your friends.
Vanduul!
Of course, it's not going to be easy because the
armor.
people that are inhabiting the station are going to fight you every step of the way.
The fight will be challenging, but this definitely will be the warm-up phase of this mission. This will be the players getting a sense of what exactly is going on there, who these new people are. They'll be in unfamiliar armor. They will be wielding unfamiliar weapons. And we want you to get a sense that you are in a new place, in a new territory, fighting a new faction.
So after you survive this initial ambush, you get back in touch with Intersect, and obviously the question is, who are these people? Why are they attacking? Why are the Vanduul attacking them?
At this point,
I was
there's more
flying the
going on
Guardian
here than
earlier
anyone.
as well. It's
the
just
directive from Intersect is to explore the station and collect as much information as you possibly can.
no one's gonna believe me that I didn't have
Along the
inside
way,
information.
you're
I've
gonna
nailed
get
it
to
so
explore
far.
some new
Holy
areas.
shoot.
It's not just the space station. There's the disabled capital ship. There's asteroid bases nearby with obvious installations there, other forces that the Vanduul have been attacking. There's a debris field.
Explore the locations in any order you want and try to find out who these people are and why the Vanduul are after them.
You'll find new clues. You'll find ways to solve the puzzle of what's going on at the space station and find out what kind of loot they have for you now that you beat them.
And of course, this is a legally open station, so anything you find is yours to keep and sell, maybe even give to Wicklow.
No, he's not getting anything.
This isn't just a one-time event.
He's a scammer.
This is a permanent sort of mission that we're going to be adding to the game.
You can go back and repeat this mission and find ways to do it even better, even faster.
There'll be a different story and different flavor. Obviously, we can't have the same thing happen every time. There'll be other missions that Intersect will offer to you based on the evidence that you found.
Now you know the real story, and you can start digging and giving more information to Intersect along the way.
Give it to me, please. This is such a cool ship.
I'm super excited to finally see the Vanduul in the PU.
I'm excited to bring
I can't believe it,
Vanduul
chat.
ship combat to SC.
Players in the PU will now get to face down these awesome ships and get a taste of like we already have it in Arena Commander, where you get to fight the Vanduul swarm, and being able to do that in the PU is going to be, I think, a heck of a lot of fun.
Look at that ship. Oh, it's so good.
This marks a great milestone for us for not only pushing hard and adding great content this year, we're also being able to introduce the next star system.
This is so much content after Pyro.
Landscape to tell new stories and add new gameplay beats into the ever-expanding universe. So we'll leave 4.4 there. If you're at one of the watch parties, please raise a toast to the great work that all the teams have been doing this year. And I'll be right back in just a few minutes to look ahead at some of the things coming in 2026.
Okay, 2026. Oh, shit.
Hello, everyone. And welcome to the Voyager Bar in beautiful scenic Orizon, where the staff of Cloud Imperium Games Manchester is gathered for their very own CitizenCon Direct watch party.
That's
As the
awesome,
dozens
man.
of such events happening at locations around the world, we've gathered today to watch this sneak peek at just a little of what the next year of Star Citizen has in store for everyone.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, that was really good, everybody. I'm
Damn,
Jared Huckabee,
Disco.
your host for the festivities.
Looking fresh,
and for the
man.
show today, and let me tell you, it's not a joke, it's not a gag. Next week, we're hitting our 9th patch in 10 months, and then in November, we're going to finish out the year strong with the long-awaited arrival of the NYX system. And in case you missed it because you were chatting with friends, hi. It's not the lawless wasteland of Pyro many folks have been speculating, but an independent system with its own set of rules and laws and multiple ways to get there. It's an exciting time for everyone at Cloud Imperium Games because, as the architects of our persistent universe said at the start of the show, the foundational tech that we've been building for so many years has now unlocked us to bring more to Star Citizen than ever before as we continue our journey towards 1.0. Now, before we continue with the show, let's get a few housekeeping tasks out of the way. First, we're simulcast on YouTube and Twitch. So if you want the keen communities of Twitch or the 4K ultra high resolution of YouTube, you have your choice. Second, throughout the broadcast today, we want to see and hear what you have to say along the way, and you can tell us on social media by using hashtag CitizenCon. We're especially interested to see any photos from those watch parties that are happening across the globe, and we're going to find some way to bring a few of them into the broadcast later in the program. Third, we've also had a CitizenCon contest going for people to create their very own slice of life in the PU videos, and we played the winning entries during our pre-show countdown.
Nice.
The offerings were super varied. The idea was to work with a team to show the life of a miner or a hauler or a bounty hunter or whatever. But one guy just said, I'm going to make a video about how awesome I am. And I respect that. So shout out Nocturnal Revenant. I don't remember if you were one of the winners getting an L21 Wolf from Kruger for their efforts, but you won the coveted Disco Lando Complete Narcissist Award. Good job. And to all the winners, I'm sure someone will either be in touch with you about your wolves or they'll just show up on your accounts. I really don't know how that process works. Probably would have been good to find out before the show, huh? He's so afraid. Either way, if you missed the pre-show and are curious if you won, you can check the replay after we're done here today. All right. I just realized that my bosses, Chris and Sandy, are sitting in a movie theater watch party in Switzerland right now. A completely captive audience. So real behind the scenes here. This is especially torturous for Chris right now because he's super excited about the next segment we've got coming up.
Okay.
Aren't you, Chris? And you're just sat there right now, forced to watch and listen to anything I say.
Don't do it.
Do either of you regret that decision so long ago? All right, so I've probably pushed my luck enough. Let's get to the next thing. When NYX arrives next month, it'll have Levski, the Glacium Belt, and the new Welcome to NYX operation we just discussed. But throughout 2026, we'll also continue to build the star system out with new features and new technologies that will not only set NYX apart and give it a unique identity from its sibling star systems, but continue to set Star Citizen apart from other video games altogether. Now, at this point, if you're running one of the watch parties, you're going to want to crank your speakers up for some brand new music from the maestro Pedro himself. And let's take a look at some of what the next year has to offer for the NYX system.
Oh, more NYX. Okay. So, for context, we're half an hour into the 1 hour, 2 hour stream. Music. I'm going to shut up. This man is magic.
At Cloud Imperium Games, we believe art inspires the best technology. And through the development of that technology, it pushes us to create even better art. When Genesis comes to the persistent universe starting next year, it will change how you experience every world. And not just in the building of the new planets for the NYX system. We will also go back through Stanton and Pyro and reimagine them through the lens of our technology. Previously, and more traditionally, we'd create slices of biomes, like deserts or forests. This approach moved us forwards and got us this far, but solving the scale was always tricky. And for Star Citizen, we like to do scale on another level. Issues like seeing tiling from our height maps from high altitude, or the unpredictable blending when two biomes connected, were common. But ultimately, things just never felt right. Our worlds were gorgeous, but to us, they still sometimes felt like interpretations. Now, this was a super hard problem, which we needed to solve at the scale for Star Citizen
This
required.
is cooking right now.
We challenged ourselves
absolutely cooking.
to emulate nature in the most believable way, and not just on a planetary scale, but to our level of detail.
I actually put Planet Tech. What the actual? I've predicted this to a T so far. It's insane. No one's going to believe me. I didn't know.
We've made a complete paradigm shift to how we do things.
What?
Biomes are now created based on the physical data sets, with the assets being spawned whenever and wherever the correct criteria is found.
That looks insane.
So when you see a forest or a meadow, it's no longer because an artist painstakingly crafted it there. It's now because it simply wants to be there.
This looks ridiculous.
Fits inside our rules. Genesis also ties into our other gameplay systems. Our new planets are built from the information we create for our different datasets, like height maps, humidity, temperature, soil type, soil amounts, geology erosion data, to name but a few.
I actually don't believe what I'm seeing. It's insane. It's actually ridiculous.
As the geology looks like it would be suitable for it. Where scree piles exist below sheer cliff faces, and where rocks have broken off over time due to erosion. Of course, these new tools still give us the ability to direct the look and feel we want. The attention to detail from the tallest mountain to the smallest flower is still our core DNA. With Genesis, we can now keep that detail-orientated mindset as we focus on the quality. And it provides the quantity.
Is this insane or am I going mad? This looks insane,
Genesis
right?
provides our planets with the ultimate sense of exploration and adventure. Discovery in the purest emotional form. We want you to find that perfect place with the planets providing an abundant resource to harvest. This is a major part of what exploration is for us. We want that feeling of finding a corner of the universe that you'll fall in love with, and where you want to settle down and build your home.
Hey, don't tease me!
Now I'm going to hand you over to Will to go deeper into what we have built that allows Genesis to realize our vision.
Look at
this! As a reminder, some of the visuals you'll see will evolve and
looks
change
insane!
as we continue our technological development and hone in on the final look for NYX.
actually looks ridiculous, chat. He's actually...
So, in case it's not already clear, Genesis is our name for a group of technologies that are improving our ability to build worlds, refining those that we've already created, and ultimately expanding our persistent universe to the scale and quality that we all expect. I work on Planet Tech, so let's talk about how that's continued to evolve since our presentation last year. And instead of just highlighting some really cool biomes that we can create, let's go ahead and show how all this work applies to the upcoming planets of NYX.
Oh, yes. More NYX,
So there are
more
3
wind.
planets in NYX. NYX 3 is a gas giant, and I think it's blue. It's not going to surface. I don't really know. NYX 2 is a yellow, toxic. It's got like this high pressure atmosphere, and it's like a very volatile planet with high risk reward gameplay. It's going to have some really interesting biomes for you to discover, but for now, just know it's going to be dangerous, because today we're going to focus on what we consider to be the hero planet of this system.
Oh no, it's going to be a screenshot paradise.
NYX 1 has got a rugged, remote beauty. It's got a diverse set of biomes, from weathered rocky mountain ranges to vast sweeping forests and grasslands.
Perfect.
And from damp, expansive wetlands to claustrophobic, festering swamps. These core biome concepts give us a fantastic platform to hone our technology. In some cases, because the current tech couldn't do them at all, or because we want to completely step up our game for them.
Okay, base building.
Let's approach this planet in much the same way that you, the player, will, from orbit. The orbit appearance of the planets going forward is far more tied to what is present on the surface. Previously, we had different data that drove the orbital and ground coloring. That's because the orbit was designed to look like vegetation that we'd place on the surface, and the ground coloring was trying to be a mix of soil, rock, and the organic compound coloring that forms the kind of colors there.
Okay, this is awesome.
Now we author much more of the data in a unified way. When you look at Earth, you see blues and greens for ocean and vegetation, and brown or yellowy tones for sand and soil. We wanted to keep it as simple as that.
Look
the
at
same
that, there's
set
beaches,
of textures
man.
and data that define the color of the soil, sand, and rock on the ground are used to create the orbital look. We then assess the presence of vegetation and competition between different species on each part of the planet, and use that to blend in tones of green, including variations due to species health and the current season. This creates a far more complete image and allows you to identify features, geologies, and potential points of interest all the way from space.
All I'm reading in chat is I want to live in the swamp. God damn it.
Start with something
You bunch of
closer
Shreks.
to what you're used to, but in a whole new light.
Oh, look at this. Look at it. That is so cinematic. You know what? That reminds me of an ironclad concept art.
When we approached the surface of the planet, we wanted to start by focusing on just the soil and rock. One of the things that was missing from our terrain previously was simply feature complexity. Looking at our contemporaries, we lacked detail at the ground scale. To combat this, we've added a new layer of data. That layer is called the medium tiles. These are intelligently placed on top of the existing 4-kilometer terrain tiles based on slope, soil type, and other erosion data. And these medium tiles don't just create height changes, they also bring in local erosion data both for soil and bedrock size values.
Oh, look at
This
that.
gives us a whole new level of terrain detail, of scale, and allows us to create far more unique locations across the planet.
Cool.
So now that we've nailed the surface, let's have a look at adding some rocks. We've now got 2 major contributors to the rock content of our planets. Firstly, long desired feature, cliffs. We are adding large scale, varied detail to all our cliffs based on the geology at a given location. This adds an exciting new dimension to steep slopes that we simply couldn't get before. The second is a big one for you ground vehicle enthusiasts. Rocks are now found not scattered everywhere, like spilt popcorn at the cinema, but only in places you'd expect to find them, thanks to a brand new rock scattering algorithm that isn't annoying as hell.
Using physical data generated for each large and medium tile,
Oh, shoot.
rock distribution makes sense and has a physical basis.
Oh, that's so
if
good.
you're still crashing into them after this comes out, that's on you.
Nice. Look at this, man.
The rock assets themselves have had a glow up too. We now create rock sets related to a particular geology that look like they originated from the same source. And this ties into how we'll be distributing minables in much more interesting ways too.
It looks so photorealistic. It's crazy.
So now that our base terrain and rock scattering looks good, let's add some vegetations and explore some additional biomes.
NYX rally, right? Racing. Imagine doing some...
NYX 1's forests and grasslands are full of trees, various grass species, rock formations, and they're found in all sorts of elevations like mountain valleys, open plains, and dense meadows. When we start to add a bit of fresh water, they begin transitioning into more wetland type biomes.
Look, that's where I'm living. Look at that.
And
That is a
forests
postcard.
are super cool. Let's focus on the grasslands and wetlands today.
Look at that. Imagine Squadron
how are we
42
making
base
these look
being
so
here.
great? Obviously, we've had grass before, but never meadows of it. Because until now, we haven't been able to spawn grass in large enough quantities or effectively represented at distance. So we're stepping up our game in terms of spawning, shaping, and shading grass.
Look at that. That's so beautiful.
With Genesis, we now leverage GPU
I would eat
spawning
that grass.
to create vast quantities of assets across all biomes, whether it be dense meadows or more complex collections of ground cover like you can see in these wetlands.
It's like the rolling fields. It's so
We
gorgeous.
are also able to fit our grass tiles to the ground by conforming them to the unique terrain underneath. Now we can finally cover complex terrain shapes with grass and ground cover assets, and as a result they are now gravity aligned, meaning each blade is oriented as you'd expect and not sticking out like before.
That's a level of detail that is unnecessary but absolutely incredible.
Next, let's take a look at how we light our grass. Now, as in real life, the shading of a grass blade, or indeed a whole field of grass, is lit very differently to like a flat surface. We now use a solution that shades meadows of grass far more like fur or hair. And this, if you think about it, makes sense. At a distance, a field of grass is far more like a carpet or cloth than a flat surface. This improves how our grass looks from a near perspective, as well as bringing us nicely into how we're solving the distant representation of grass.
Is anyone's PC crying in the background?
Let's talk
by the way?
about the distant.
Look at that.
One of our biggest achievements with Genesis is allowing us to build beautiful biomes out of flora and geology assets like a building set. Can I say Lego?
No.
Too late. But in the past, this broke down very quickly when objects simply disappeared when viewing the same biome from 10, 20, 100 kilometers away. Because we don't hide planetary transitions and allow you to view complex regions from very large distances, there are almost infinite perspectives from which you can see a location in Star Citizen. So, how can we afford to evaluate complex spawning logic at runtime for the entire swathes of the planet? Enter the virtual terrain.
Oh my god, technical
Virtual
just
terrain,
explosion.
or VT for short, is how we now cache and represent our terrain at varying scales.
What?
This has been the enabler for all of the lovely advances in terrain complexity and asset spawning we've shown so far.
My PC's dying.
It's also how we now evaluate and represent vegetation from a distance. When creating the VT for each part of the terrain, we assess if vegetation has covered the ground, and if so, what shading should be applied. For all of our biomes, we're now able to use the same shading model for the distant representation as the close-up asset, whether that's our lovely rolling hills, some more dramatic rockscapes, those muggy wetlands, or even our festering swamps.
What are you doing in my swamp?
So yeah, we didn't forget about the swamps, and they're coming to NYX 1 as well. Built using the lessons learned and all the technologies we've developed, these swamps now spring into existence from the planetary data.
Look at that, man.
This biome combines all of the elements from the other biomes we've shown you today, from water interaction, denser spawning, unique ground coverage, and I think it creates something really unique.
What is that in the background? Can you see it in the middle there? Like there. Is that a tree or something? What is that? A crane. Maybe it's a crane. There's something there.
Anyway, that's our update on the Planet Tech portion of Genesis and how we're using it right now to sculpt the identity of NYX One.
I'm playing on a
You're
laptop.
as excited as we are to explore this and everything we haven't shared yet next year.
So that planet will be, we can go
As you can
there.
see, Genesis is now inspiring everyone here to create
In 4.4, the next patch.
quality and believability we've always strived for. A meeting of technology and art that I truly believe will set our worlds apart from anything we've done before. And with that said, let's move on to a little travel between systems, literally. Up until now, our mission system has been specific to the star system you're in, meaning a Stanton mission has to take place in the Stanton system, and a Pyro mission has to take place there.
Oh, okay.
We've never been able to link these together, but with the introduction of our third star system, it's time for this to change. And that begins with the introduction of interstellar cargo.
What are you talking about today?
System-to-system hauling missions. Hauling is back.
No one said Olli was gone. He doesn't even play the game.
I'm very happy about this.
Exactly what they say on the tin. Missions where you're going to start in, say, Stanton and end in NYX, taking various volumes of cargo between the stations. So
That's
there'll be
cool.
high volumes of cargo that kind of fulfill the purpose for the Hull C and the other series of Hull ships. And there'll be a few sort of more direct routes.
So you might pick up some cargo from Ruin Station in Pyro and go through the jump point to Stanton and drop it off there at one of the
Salty Mike wants his salt back.
So if you've never sort of experienced the jump point or going through it, these missions will require you to.
That's cool, I like that. That's nice.
They're no way limited. You can do them in any sort of ship you want, any size of ship. I'll be doing them in my Drake cutter myself, between Stanton and NYX.
How much cargo are you moving?
Who's
Not
the
much.
Drake cutter?
I've got a few ships, but the Drake cutter is really cute, so.
He's not
One
wrong.
thing that we're looking
Elliot
to add
is absolutely
with these
right.
interstellar missions is scripted combat encounters where you can be attacked by NPC ships. Maybe the mission giver has tipped off some pirates who are looking to get a hold of that cargo, as well as express missions, which means the deadline timers that you're used to in the regular hauling missions might get really tight and you've got to learn to be very fast. All of the love and care that has gone into hauling missions so far, with the logistical network and making sure they make sense within the themes of the systems, just as much love has gone into the interstellar missions we're making now.
I love it because it's actual proper hauling from system to system. I think it's really
At the start of the show,
cool.
we said
It's
we
a
was going
journey,
to build
you know?
out the NYX system right in front of you after 4.4 launches next month. And why we want to keep as much of what we're doing behind closed doors so you can discover it for yourself, in-game and on your own, we still are excited to share with you a brief look at one of our up-and-coming locations we're calling Rockcracker.
Ooh. This is concept. It's images, it's not video.
Okay, so Rockcracker, Jared, is our internal name.
Rockcracker is where you have to crack a rock. It's a big rock. You want more?
So way out into the Keegar Belt, you'll find these old QV breaker stations.
Nice.
These were originally industrial facilities breaking apart large asteroids and mining them down.
It's not concept.
Since they've been mothballed and been left abandoned. So you're going to have to find your way inside and thinking about how do we bring this facility back to life.
More mission
It's not
content.
just about flipping a switch. As you bring these stations back to life,
This is
you'll
mad.
be lighting the beacon and calling attention to these long-forgotten places.
So crack the rock, people turn up.
One of the main features is the laser head, which will require certain things to get working.
Oh,
it's
man.
up to you and your friends to find how to get in.
There'll be a variety of options. Whether you're discovering the bowels of the station and mining your way through long-forgotten tunnels,
Oh, so it is
or
concept.
you're going through the main laser entrance. Now, as you're traversing through the facility, you'll find the old engine room. Now, there may be ways to bring the facility back to life.
Plasma batteries.
Kickstart the engines.
I saw plasma
and bring
batteries.
Power to different parts of the facility. Maybe eventually bringing the laser back online and cracking some rocks.
Let's crack those rocks,
The secondary
boys.
gameplay loop is FPS combat.
Mm.
You're not there by yourself.
There may be squatters and outlaws in these stations trying to stop you from what you want to do.
Oh, shoot, it's actual gameplay. Jeez, I think you got him, bro. My boy Bob is going to be like so excited about this.
So
He loves
found
mining
these old facilities. You've
and
brought
cargo
them back to life.
and missions.
You've systematically brought power to various functions of the facility. You've activated the laser. You've fired the laser. You've broken apart the rock. And then you'll be able to fly your ship inside and see what's there.
Damn, it's like a Kinder Egg.
So you fly a ship into an asteroid.
Yeah. You just get into your ship and fly in and start searching around and trying to find the pieces that you want to mine.
Damn, that's cool. So valuable loot. Nice.
I'm really excited about Rock Hacker because it's a sandbox activity. You can kind of
It's like
go
Hathor
to
2.0.
these
Someone mentioned it and
whenever
it's
you want
accurate.
to.
This content is for players who enjoy mining, who enjoy exploration, investigation, and don't mind a little bit of FPS content while they're there.
Yeah, I'm well up for this. This is well in my wheelhouse. I love mining. I love
It will
combat.
be very new experience.
I love loot.
Compared to any other asteroids, because this one, kind of like Alan and mine, will crack open and show its secret.
And one presumes you can make a decent amount of scratch on an asteroid that's big enough you fly your spaceship into it.
It wouldn't be worth doing if you couldn't make a good amount of coin. Yeah.
Making promises for the econ team.
Yeah. They've got to balance it.
Not my problem.
It's for people who want a lot of minerals. When crafting comes in, when all the other mechanics and features that we want in the game for 1.0 come in, it will be a place where like an organization or a group of like 5-6 people could come and just get a monumental amount of minerals.
That's awesome. Like a little org event just to get some minables in space.
So
it's
that's
nice.
a look at some of what's coming over the next 12 months. In addition to what we've shown,
12
there'll
months.
be new mission packs tailored to the People's Alliance and their struggles. There'll be events that invest you into the evolving storyline of all 3 systems we'll have in the game. And of course, when we begin populating these with new planets, there'll be a whole host of ground-based POIs, settlements, and structures inhabited by those trying to make their way in the verse.
There is a lot
all of
at
this
NYX.
in service of building star systems that complement the massive corporate yard of Stanton, the lawless ganking of Pyro, and now the new frontier of discovery for the NYX system. Should I say ganking?
You already did.
I love what I'm hearing so far.
Good job, everyone. So yeah, a whole lot to take in there. Interstellar hauling is the beginning of a massive expansion to the mission system that'll let us connect these 3-star systems like never before. What else we got? Rockcracker. Rockcracker is just one of the next operations that'll be coming to the NYX system in the first half of next year. We're going to fly into an asteroid and do that thing that miners love more than anything else. Complain about PvPers getting in their way. No, I'm being told it's mining. It's mining. And of course, one of the most anticipated features coming to Star Citizen, Genesis, and what that means for the planets of Star Citizen, including the ones already in there. So let's talk to Will Hain and find out more. And I'm just remembering that Will Hain is in France at the watch party. Okay, France. Ask Slarty Bartfast over there how they're going to use Genesis to update the planets and moons of Stanton and get back to me, all right? Let's see if we can get some fjords. What else we got? The CitizenCon Digital Goodies Pack.
It's like,
hard thing to say.
Jared, please finish the segment.
Ago and has a whole bunch of mysterious
I didn't
items
expect
in it,
the camera to
and
be
that's
on
what
me
I
for
can
this
tell you
long.
now that almost
I'll wave
all of
again.
them are tied to the NYX system in one way or another. So let's find out what's actually in there. There's a gunship flight suit and helmet.
Oh, shoot.
2 armor sets from that mysterious faction causing a ruckus with the Vanduul.
Damn.
An Intersect BDU sweater and outfit. A couple of crazy weapons that I'm certain we're going to learn about in just a few minutes.
New
Some
armor.
slick Levski swag. And finally, to celebrate the long-awaited addition of the Vanduul to Star Citizen, a cool Vanduul knife and adorable plushie, which I swear to love and squeeze and cherish forever. So yeah, it's a pretty solid haul for this year's Digital Goodies Pack, which you can still pick up right now on the RSI store. So now, let's go ahead and transition into our next segment. Much of what you see in the show today has been the culmination of a lot of people's work in... What's up? All right, I had a dream about like this once. Yeah. Okay, so against everyone's better judgment, the thing has finally happened. Can I help you? How you think the show's going? Good. We're getting the NYX Star System and the Vanduul are coming. Kind of been a lot of NYX, right? Well, yeah, but it's a major milestone and it deserves a major showcase celebrating everybody's hard work. And you got more, right? Well, yeah, there's spaceships coming up. Cool. Wow, it's like they only scanned the original community portion of me. If pictures steal your soul, imagine what face scanning in PCAP does. Well, this has been super cringe. So I'm gonna head out. Bye. Oh, regular CitizenCon is still better. You should have done that. Of course. Thank you. Part of me that isn't a soulless marketing puppet. All right. No.
Nice.
No. Let's just go to some spaceships, shall we?
We like spaceships.
Hi, my name's John Crew. I'm the Vehicle Director here at CIG, and welcome to Talking Ship, where we're going to talk about 3 new ships coming to the persistent universe.
3. I predicted 2, so I got something wrong. It happens sometimes. I don't mind saying. Right, okay. 3 ships.
The last year has been pretty hectic in terms of vehicle deliveries. I think we've delivered the most we've ever done in a 12-month period, and we've covered all the way from tiny little snubs all the way up to capital ships.
We've kind of filled out a few little gaps. We've introduced some new ships by some old manufacturers.
You had the Polaris come out, and obviously people have enjoyed playing with that. We snuck the Idris in.
I'm not going to call out everyone, by the way. If they keep putting people on, I just can't carry on.
It's nice to
it was funny with
some of the older catalogue and some of the bigger ships again.
I think my favourite ship from the last year is a tie between the Wolf and the Golem.
Favourite ship from the last year? Probably the Wolf.
I feel like it's the obvious one. I'm trying to think of something else, but I really like the Wolf.
Everyone's mentioned the Wolf. The Wolf's everyone's favourite.
It is pretty cool. It really grew on me, to be fair.
Completely new aesthetic to the game.
The Wolf was, it was kind of everything we set it out to be, and it revived an old manufacturer we've not seen anything from a while, so yeah, I'm going to say the Wolf.
The Golem, I think, is just an incredibly well-formed ship in such a small package. It really just shows off that Drake aesthetic, giving you the absolute bare minimum needed to perform a role.
I honestly do really like the Zeus. I think
yes, the Zeus is very good.
It's kind of hard to pin down a favourite, to be honest, because we've released, a lot of really
It's a
cool
gorgeous
ships.
ship, actually.
Next year we've got some super exciting ships coming up. We're ticking off a few big ones, which is good. We're gonna see again maybe some ships from some manufacturers that don't have that many in their lineup. There's a few big challenging ones starting, so they're good. A breadth of ships, should we say?
The 3 new ships we're going to introduce today all tie in some way to the primary factions fighting over the NYX system. We'll start with the People's Alliance and Anvil Aerospace.
Ooh, Anvil!
Anvil is a very military-based brand. It's been a brand that's in Star Citizen for a long time, fighting for lots of military contracts and lore, often up against Aegis, and to the point it actually beat
Let's see
Aegis
if anyone says it
You will
in
be
chat.
familiar with a lot of their ships' designs, such as the Hornet and Lightning. Earlier this year, we introduced the Anvil Asgard based on the Valkyrie chassis, which is an extremely popular offering.
Beautiful
and this year,
ship.
we're bringing the concept ship we introduced last year, the Anvil Paladin, to life.
Paladin! Oh my god, it looks so cool.
The Paladin is a gunship from Anvil Aerospace designed to support ground operations.
A gunship is a ship that's designed to sustain a sustained firefight while dealing a lot of damage, also taking damage.
We don't have a lot of gunships in the game that are true dedicated gunships. They are quite a tricky archetype to control in game without being too powerful. It's designed with a lot of firepower and high armor and health, but very low maneuverability.
It's multi-crew, it's just built purely...
That's a nice armor suit.
It's got lots of armor, lots of guns, big guns.
It's got a very similar squat kind of form to the Valkyrie. It kind of reminds me of, I guess, like a pit bull. Obviously a very menacing
Look at that
silhouette.
thumbnail.
It looks quite forward-weighted in its stance. It feels like it's coming towards you, even when it's just sat still. And I think that's something that helps with it feeling intimidating.
It looks so cool. I really like the Paladin.
Following the ship round clockwise, what you'll then see is the first of the side turrets.
Look at it. It's so cool.
If you notice the canopy, you'll see that there's a fairly thick space between where the glass is and the hull exterior. That's because it has deployable armor, which can come out and give you a little bit more cover while you're actually attacking the target head on.
It's got these really nice kind of dual connected wings.
Very cool. Never going to use it for visibility.
As much kind of range for those turrets as we can get.
Which is controlled by one of the two remote stations underneath the bridge. If we come around to the rear, you'll see a rail. Now that rail mounts the main turret of the ship, which is controlled by the co-pilot.
So you've got full 360 coverage underneath, full 360 coverage on top with it. And then the side turrets also have 360 coverage that way around and 180 out sideways. So
it is
really you have between the turrets
no safe
pretty much
space
360
really
coverage in all directions.
attacking it. Some ships there is an angle you can get to and you can't get shot at.
One of the unique things about the Paladin is all the turrets are remote and all the crew are located in this one central two-story room.
A lot of our other gunships, the crew gets scattered across the ship, but with the Paladin, you're all sat together with a nice, cool experience, so you can really feel like you're playing as a group.
You've got the pilot, co-pilot up top, and you've got the gunners underneath, and I think that helps with the intention of what the ship does, because you've got this really nice kind of like gunner viewpoint down, kind of giving this lower coverage.
We added a glass floor just to keep the two connected.
That's
I think
nice.
That really helps with the feeling that you're all working together and communicating.
That said, if you don't have the ability to fully crew a Paladin, you can still fly it and engage in combat solo.
Obviously not as good as if you have a full crew, but you can't always guarantee your friends are going to be online.
As a solo ship, it's pretty capable of doing a variety of missions within Star Citizen. So if you want to run this ship solo, you can take on combat missions that, say, other heavy fighters like the Scorpius or other ships such as the Drake Cutlass could do. Coming aboard the Paladin, you enter into this sort of armory ready room area. You have a variety of suit lockers and weapon racks in this room.
Everything's very militaristic, stripped back, simple. It's a very functional space, but you'll find everything you need in there.
One of the improvements from the original concept is we've added a small dedicated cargo bay area, allowing you to store actual SCU crates. Forward of that is the route
that's
to
neat.
the
That's a
lower
nice
gunners.
little.
And
I like
then
that.
Upstairs, you have the bridge area. And
I
then
love
off
the
that
fact there's
central area,
stairs,
You have the
not a ladder.
dual living
That's
quarters, one
huge.
on the left, one on the right. And then at the rear, you have the main sort of engineering area where the majority of the components are. Also within the upper traversal area, you also have a little breakout area with seating, food machine, toilets, etc.
Is that a melee weapon? I don't know about you,
It's a very
chat.
cool looking ship.
Stairs
I think
are
we
a win.
did a really nice job of taking what was there in the concept and adding an extra level of detail and trying to kind of push things forward.
I think it hits the nail in terms of a really solid military ship. It's really complementary to some of the other ships in the Anvil lineup, so something like the Valkyrie, where you've got this big drop ship. You know, the Paladin's there just to make sure it's safe, make sure no one messes with you, and just basically scare people away.
The thing I like most, I think, about the Paladin is that it's very clearly got a crew of 4 and they all kind of work and operate under the same conditions. You know, the pilot, co-pilot, and the two gunners.
Oh man, what a thumbnail.
All equal
Look at
on
that,
the
that
ship.
looks
So
sick.
One toilet, everyone's got the same style of bunk. when
it's
they're
on
at work,
sale?
everyone's at the front of the ship together.
It's really odd to me that you call that, you like that there's one toilet for 4 people.
Well, you know, it's you all work together. You're all equal at work.
The toilet seat never gets cold.
Toilet seat never gets cold. Yeah.
So that's the Vanduul Paladin. Whilst originally a military-built craft, it's the perfect ship for folks on the frontier trying to defend against threats. And talking of threats, let's move to our next ship, a replica from Hesperia.
Ooh. Oh, the Vanduul.
Hesperia are a high-end manufacturer. They
Maybe.
specialize in recreating exotic and particularly alien spacecraft.
Are they gonna...
Effectively what they're doing is they're remanufacturing them, making them a little bit more suitable for kind of human flight. And the latest offering from Hesperia is the Vanduul Stinger.
Oh, yes!
The Vanduul are big, scary space aliens. They're like 7-foot-tall, evil war race that sort of take over, steal technology, absorb it, fuse it all together into their own needs.
They are the relatively nasty aliens that you sometimes hear about and haven't seen much of yet.
We're going to the store after the stream, and let me tell you. Look at that.
The Stinger as a Vanduul heavy fighter was reserved for their higher tier sort of ace pilots or high-ranking members within their clans.
Damn.
The Stinger is a competitor to something like the FA or I guess the Scorpius.
It packs a lot of firepower in quite a large frame.
This is
so it's
going to be
a
popular
very, very
AF.
tanky spacecraft. The firepower is
350.
almost unrivaled in terms of just both the number and the size of them. So it's there for players who don't want agility.
Oh,
they don't
look
want
at
to be in and out
look at that
quickly. They want to be
interior.
there
That's so
brawling
cool.
with big guns and taking all the hits.
Holy!
One thing Hesperia have done differently with the Stinger is they have done away with the majority of the bespoke weapons.
They heard everyone's complaints about the glaive and blade and have stripped off the original Vanduul weapons to allow customization for standard human weapons.
With the exception of the single-size 5 gun.
Because it was too well integrated into the hull, even for Hesperia to remove.
All the additional weapons are generic mounts, so they can be swapped with any of the existing lineup that we have in the game. By doing this, it provides greater flexibility to the end user, and this is something Hesperia wanted for the civilian market. For that one bespoke weapon, the size 5 plasma cannon, functionally it is the same as the existing size 5 plasma cannons on the Scythe and Glaive, but it is a sort of Gen 2 model and wraps it in a different aesthetic compared to those models. You'll see they're very much older Vanduul styling. This is
that
much
sounds
newer
so
Vanduul
nice.
styling, but underneath it is the same weapon that people have used for years.
It looks gorgeous, like
Our
the
job
whole
as the
meshing on the
big
back.
team on
Look
the
at that.
PU was to take the Stinger from the squadron team and prepare it for life in the PU. We took an opportunity to take, this really well-established art style and, add extra details where needed.
So the exterior is a real blend of these kind of hard surface, kind of rare alloyed wings, and then underneath this real kind of organic structure that kind of webs all of the ship together. It
What's the
connects
third thing gonna
thrusters
be?
It connects all the kind of underside of the vehicle and pulls the whole ship together.
You can tell it's very different from the Vanduul ships that are currently in the PU.
I'm
Take, for
excited to make some
example,
videos, guys.
The way the cockpits are constructed.
Up at the front, we've got this big kind of bubble dome that gives the cockpit quite a unique shape compared to some of our other ships, and also gives the pilot a unique position within the ship and kind of gives great visibility out the front.
I like
Boarding the
visibility.
Stinger is a little unusual compared to other ships, obviously being alien in nature.
You're going through a ramp at the rear, and it leads you kind of straight up into the belly of the ship.
Oh, a ramp.
There's, lots of organic detail, rib cages.
That looks
kind of
incredible.
strange alien forms.
On entry of the cockpit, the seat kind of comes down towards you, and you kind of climb over the back of it a bit like a motorbike.
You're basically riding into the
They got
cockpit.
me.
It feels very much like you're being carried inside the cockpit.
Into the traditional prone flying pose that Vanduul pilots use.
I'm very happy with the Stinger. I think the team have done a really good job of making something that feels different, it feels alien, but it suits our lineup of ships and it suits our universe.
I think the guys did a really good job of respecting the direction and vision from the original Stinger and Vanduul ships and Squadron.
We've tried to take a lot of inspiration from movies and other science fiction material, but I think it sits well within the Star Citizen universe.
So we have the Paladin for the People's Alliance. We have the Stinger for people that really like Vanduul and want to try and pretend to be them. But what about the other mysterious faction we have running around?
Okay, What's the? I have no idea what this is going to be.
So
I really
Gray
don't.
Chowdhury got his start as he was working at a cargo center out in Odin. He started being able to get his hands on some stuff that other people couldn't.
What's it going to be?
Items that necessarily you couldn't find on a store shelf, but you wanted anyway.
I think Gray is interested in, happy customers. Gray just sees themselves as a conduit to get these things.
A variant. It's going to be a variant. I'm calling it now. It's going to be a variant of something.
And I think that his latest offering is really going to turn some heads.
So the Shiv, well, we don't really know what it is, to be fair.
It's what happens when someone who is a genius at aeronautics and ship
It's like a
assembly
cutlass
is
meets an
given
Asperia
free rein
mi-
to do whatever they want. It's the best of whatever they can find lying around, put together to make something truly unique, wonderful, arguably beautiful, and just released out into the universe to see what happens.
I was goddamn
At first glance at the
right.
exterior of the Shiv, I think most people will probably recognise there is more than a fair proportion of a cutlass visible there, but it's had quite a few changes to it.
As you look a little bit closer, you'll start to pick
It's
out
kind of
elements
got-
from other ships. You've got, main thrusters that are from the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Even the bits that are obviously a cutlass have had panels welded on, panels removed. The top
It's
turret,
so
which is now
interesting.
remote, is just this hodgepodge amalgamation with multiple other ships' turrets. And then the changes continue onto the inside where, again, it sort of feels cutlass-like, but then you'll find
It's
there's
like
bits of
even more
Crusader
Drake.
ships just integrated into the wall instead of what was there originally.
It has lost its side entrance, some of its cargo capacity, but what it's gained is it's gained
Firepower.
visually more powerful thrusters. It's gained a really kind of nice set of belly thrusters. It's upped its firepower.
As ever with the refined work from Gray's Market, you can see that great care was taken to the health and safety to ensure
I did
that
not
there's no
see that
trip
one
hazards
coming.
anywhere.
There's like loose cables, panels are exposed. If you look
It's
carefully,
like-
you'll notice there are
it's
like
Drake
tools laying around
plus.
in the cockpit.
It's gained a toilet.
It's a bucket. It's literally a bucket.
Bucket.
Yeah, it's one for doing stuff, and then you need a second one to wash your hands. It's not an animal.
It has very much taken that ethos of Drake and moved it down a level, which I think is quite an
Interesting.
achievement.
Yeah.
Just look at this thing. How do you even begin to describe the madness that created this?
That's so. I love it. It's so.
This is something
Left
new and
field.
different for Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
I'm not going to answer that.
Just nothing. Just
No comment.
Gray goes to places and talks to people. I mean, there are just many ways to find
It's a
these
new
things
manufacturer, you're
that,
right. Yeah,
I mean, are they legitimate, manufacturers? No. Are they operating on
It's
the
cool.
right side of the law? Maybe not, but, money's money.
Does Gray have a motto, an ethos to live by?
It probably comes down to...
If it ain't
Don't ask
broke,
where I
break it
got
anyway and put
Don't
it
ask
together.
How we got it.
Don't worry about it. Just ask if you want it.
I think the ship is
Just
for
give me your
someone that's
credit
looking for
card.
something a bit different, a bit away from the norm. They just
It
want
is
something
different.
that's unique.
It's definitely for people who like a rustic aesthetic.
It's a fun ship, but it's also
Yeah,
really
yeah.
strong, to be honest, and it's absolutely a statement.
I love how it's completely like the
I'm happy with the three ship
anti-polish.
offerings. They are obviously
Everything
very
else is
combat
so
heavy.
polished.
There's something we wouldn't normally
And it's like
release all at once.
deliberately
but
unpolished,
honestly,
you know?
all of them are a different statement, and they're all cool.
As always, super excited to release these ships into the game and just see how players react and play with them. It's always fun to
look
see
wild.
the quirks and the shenanigans that people
Okay.
get up to with them. So
The
that's
Cutlass
talking
Mega.
chip for another year.
Yeah, you can't do that thing with Lexi. Talking weapons.
So I've just been informed that we have to do a bit of a timeshare agreement this year. So we have to throw it over to Alexi for Talking Weapons, which is an extremely original name.
Which one of those ships? The Vanduul ship, the Stinger, the Paladin, or the Cutlass Mega? I can't remember what they called it, honestly. Let me know which of these you want.
I'm talking about the new edition that come out in October.
Because we're giving one away.
The non-weapons are essentially the weapons that does not have a manufacturer, the weapons that you can think of that were made by space pirates.
Gray sells whatever he can sell.
Sometimes he gets his hands on some weapons that come from unknown origins.
I bought all three.
He will sell things that no company in their right mind would ever make.
Which one
These
should I give
are
away,
the most
guys?
kind of like scrappy and taped together and the most kind of like pyro-ish weapons that you can think of.
Right now we're releasing 3 new weapons. Rocket launcher, the LMG, and the long-awaited Space AK.
Yes!
I think this is
Nice.
the one that not only is the most in demand, but I've been politely badgered about the most. It's a fun rifle that basically fires energy and ballistic in sequence. So your first shot will be your ballistic, your second shot will be the energy.
cool.
You'll see on the top of the art, there is a bolt that cycles the rounds, and that goes off with the ballistic shot, but it does not go off with the energy shot. And that is just like a really fun
Wow,
way
that's
of
really awesome.
making a weapon work in kind of like a scrappy, glued together kind of aesthetic.
It's like a double weapon. It's a weapon plus.
The LMG, this thing is a really fun, slow firing,
It's a space K, nice.
hard-hitting beast.
It will bring the 50 cal, and the only other weapons that have this right now in the verse are the Bearing Sniper Rifle and the Coda.
Honestly, if you even get hit by one, you just instant tier 1 injury, back to medical.
Excellent. That's what we like to see.
You know what? We made all these really complicated, fancy guns, and some people just I want a slow firing rifle. Give me a scrap together box that fires the biggest thing you can possibly find.
We don't have a.
It's like, it almost feels like a
launcher
Tommy gun
of
almost, you know?
this
It's a
caliber.
shotgun.
It will be 3 grenades straight together.
It sounds
that you
brilliant.
pull into the tube.
What is
and
what?
fire towards you.
Sorry,
and that's the
what
cool
did I?
part
What?
about it.
What is
You'll
this?
have an arming distance, so you will not be able to just point it towards an enemy.
It's also going to have a lot of spread. So essentially, you're going to have to get very close with your launcher to be able to blow up ships with a single payload in it. You can't actually aim with the apparatus, because if you've got the tube on your shoulder and you try to aim it, you'd have to physically put the tube in your head. So we were like, oh, we can't have an aim apparatus for this. And then we realized, like, it's in the spirit of being a tube that you can't use the aiming apparatus, and you just kind of like, all right, I think that's the middle of the screen, I'm gonna hit it.
It's in the spirit of being a tube.
I don't talk about binoculars. Binoculars are really cool.
We tried to
We
get
don't
it.
have anything like this in the verse.
Wiggle-o, don't you?
I think it will be really convenient to use something that's dedicated to look for the things, especially far away, instead of using your sniper scope, for example.
Will the binoculars have glint?
I'm not aware of this one. Probably not, because
I'm gonna use that. I'm not
binoculars
aware of
are
this one.
not
Sorry.
something that you need to be aware of.
It's really funny because obviously, due to Glintgate, as I
Glintgate, that's
can
amazing.
call it, basically there was a lot of community feedback, basically saying like, oh, I really like spotting people. I really like playing a spotter, and essentially I was like, oh, this community wants to be able to spot people from distances, and what can we make gadget-wise that doesn't require new features? And it was like binoculars, and I prototyped a thing which essentially was just a scope in a hand. And it worked. So we've got some really cool binoculars coming that allow you to spot people from distances.
I earned this.
And how much damage do the binoculars do?
Depends on how you throw them.
Now I get why I didn't
Thanks,
get it,
Alexi
guys.
and Zach. That's the end of this segment for this year.
'Cause they were
That's
waiting
talking
to
ship
do this
and
bit.
weapons, unless anyone else is going to come and tell me something else. It's been an exciting year, and I think the next year of ships is going to be even more exciting and expansive than this year.
Damn. That's a big statement. "30 minutes left." That's true.
Well. That is an eclectic bunch of combat ships for the verse, and they're all available right now up on the RobertsSpaceIndustries.com store. Also,
any minute now, there's going to be a PTU drop that includes all 3. So you can fly them now ahead of their release next week when Alpha 432 goes live. 3 combat ships.
There's going to be an update. We can fly it.
Any additional uses coming up later in the show.
3 new ships.
That's a hint. All right, what else can I shill? Oh, there's merch.
I like merch.
We've got these cool new Lebsky desk mat things. These are always popular. There's some Levski metal posters on the store, and of course, love them or hate them, but you can't avoid them. There's this cool new Wickelow's Emporium t-shirt.
No, screw Wicklow, man. He
There's
robbed
also
me
a page
before the
published
stream.
earlier today with a bunch of links to offerings from our third-party partners, from eye trackers to gaming chairs to voice packs to spaceship models from new partners like Planet Ring and Pigeon Spaceport and more. You can find all of that on the RSI website as well. And what else can I shill? Oh, for those of you who are at watch parties, where is it? Challenge coins.
I don't have challenge coins, guys. Sorry.
There's these lovely Levski-themed challenge coins if you're attending one of the 9 official watch parties around the world. There's also a digital one of these in the goodies pack, so you check those out. Don't leave today without getting your Levski challenge coin. All right, what else can I shill?
I'm not moving. No coin.
I'm kind of tired of shilling. All right, let's find out some more about where we are. Simon, can we move? Can we do? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay, here we go. Pardon me. Excuse me. Hi. How you doing? That was my best angle. Hey, I got to be careful. Last year, I took 3 steps and tore a muscle.
That's true.
All right, so this is the 9th floor of CIG Manchester's Manchester office. That's
been there. It's very cool.
This is the room where we have lunch every day, and if you get here early enough, croissants. If the weapons team hasn't stolen all of them. Over here, we got some cool mannequins
Mark Hamill there in the
representing different aspects of the game. You got the ever-present, Hurston security armor over here. That's really cool. You got your Duster's armor right here. You got this guy from a game that we're not talking about today. Marine armor. Yeah, it's all pretty cool. And then when you come over here, got a nice little recreation area. There's some sim pits over there for people who need to test that kind of stuff. We got this cool Krigeri,
I want that
Bengal
there.
carrier. Come over
How
here.
do I get that there, guys?
Go down the nose here. Watch this. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go over here.
I need this there.
Can you see me?
That's what we need.
Hi, Mom. All right.
Can we have...
Yeah, and what are you doing, Richard Towler? All right. I thought John went to Washington, D.C. Let's see, what else we got? We got cool Voyager bar here. This is where we get all kinds of breakfast goodies, coffee, stuff like that.
The coffee there is
the big
exquisite.
Coffee controversy of 2016.
I would just say it's very nice.
Everybody took to Reddit and pondered the question, do devs deserve coffee? I do. You want to see what next year's big controversy is? Check this out.
I love how they're leading into this.
Welcome to the Stargarita machine. Yeah.
This is amazing, by the way.
Do devs deserve frozen deliciousness? I don't know. Go to Reddit and let us know. All right, let's see. Let's go over here.
That is amazing.
Competition. Oh, competition winners. We have the list of competition winners. Can we put that on the screen? Yeah, sorry, competition winners. Remember the competition for the CitizenCon winners? The people made the videos.
Over here.
And we gave them a Kruger L21 Wolf. We actually have the names. They're behind me. Look. Oh. That's cool.
He should have taken the drink with him, I agree.
Do I have food here? Oh, somebody's supposed to save me pizza. All right, so we got... Oh, you guys saved me a lot of pizza. Let's see, there's like 3 different kinds of pizza here.
I want pizza now.
What if we just combine them into like a challenge?
What is happening?
Here? That's a CitizenCon throwback if you're not familiar with. So I have now crafted my own pizza experience.
Oh.
And that is a terrible segue into our next segment.
No.
Gemma, can we, Gemma, are you there?
Yes, Jared.
Can we fire up the FPS crafting segment while I try to chew this off camera?
We sure can. Roll, BT.
shoot. 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 Crafting experience. Let's go. I'm ready.
Star Citizen, at its heart, will always be an enormous sandbox experience where you can set out to tackle the universe in whatever ways you want. But that doesn't mean we can't shape parts of the universe here and there to better suit our needs. That goes for both you and us. Let's start this part of the show with a look at how crafting is going to change everything from resource gathering, refining, and even combat when it comes online in the next few months.
Next few months?
First version of crafting is going to be quite small in scale. We're going to use it as a kind of a concentrated effort to allow the players to experience the initial UI, the flow of gathering materials that have different quality, and using those to craft items which are better than what they have currently in the game.
The first version is going to be primarily FPS items that you can craft, weapons and armor.
But that's awesome.
For Star Citizen, crafting is our primary progression mechanic.
Yes,
Star Citizen
it
isn't
is
your standard MMO. We don't have levels. We have ships. We have gear. We have things that you create in the world, you perfect, you research, you improve. And those items, those ships, those vehicles, the armor and weapons, that's how you progress in Star Citizen.
Yes. Oh, my doggo. Hey, Jack. Everyone say hi
Crafting
to
isn't
Jack.
just a progression mechanic for creating new items. It's also a fundamental change to how we handle resources in the game. The materials that you collect, how you refine them, quality matters.
Oh, interesting. The quality of
Crafting
materials.
the weapons, you'll be able to have some quality materials to influence the item stats on those weapons.
It'll be somewhat random, potentially weighted on the location of the material. Some will have a higher chance of higher quality. And once you take those materials to your crafting bench, the fabricator, you can use them to craft, and the different attributes will be increased based on the quality of the materials you use. It's not just iron ore anymore, it's iron ore of the quality that you know will get you the stats for the item that you desire. And it's not just mining, it's essentially every resource we can get our hands on.
To support this, we also need major changes to inventory so that all of these new resources that you're collecting, you can see what you have, you can order it better, you can understand what you have in your inventory.
Oh, please work better, please.
We won't have the new refining crafting system yet. We'll be using the existing ones. Those will pass the quality through into the refined materials, which you can then take to your crafting machine and start making your personal items.
Oh, I see.
Once you have your blueprint and your quality materials that you've refined, then you can put them together on the item fabricator. This will be pretty much what we showed in last year's CitizenCon, with the UI letting you assign your quality resources to different aspects of the item. Once you're happy with what you see on the preview, you'll be able to click to craft, and it'll get queued up, and your results will be produced sometime later.
Oh, I love it.
You'll be able to get the new crafting machine from shops in most landing zones. You'll be able to bring it up on your freight elevator and use it in your personal hangar, or tractor beam it around and stick it on a ship if you want to use it from there.
Oh, shoot, that's cool. So you can craft.
There'll be a small amount of blueprints you get credited to your account just to test and mess around, but the vast majority of them will be earned through missions, and then you can use that blueprint to craft the item that it
ammunition
is that you've got the blueprint for. So it should be a good reason to go and test all the different various missions in the game.
The advantage of crafting your own items is that they'll be better than anything that you could buy from shops.
Awesome,
You'll be
awesome.
able to increase and improve item stats that are relevant to your gameplay. Maybe your gun will shoot faster, maybe it'll do some more damage, or your armor will have greater resistances against environmental effects or incoming fire. You might be wondering, what about the upgrade and research? That will be coming in a subsequent release. We're happy with this initial scope for crafting.
It's going to be so valuable for us as devs to kind of get the metrics in, get the feedback in, because then we can make the changes that, you know, they only become obvious, so to speak, when you have kind of mass amounts of data and mass amounts of users using it. So I'm very excited to get it out in the wild.
It's our intention to get crafting out on tech preview by the end of the year and get the testing we need so we can release it when it's ready.
Okay, so not coming into the game, but coming into a tech preview before the end of the year. That's soon.
One way you'll be crafting your own experiences in the Star Citizen universe.
That's huge.
But what about us? Where do we get to hone in and craft a bespoke experience here and there, specifically tailored to individual or small group play? Well, that's where instancing comes in. And I'm going to let Benji tell you a little bit more.
Instancing. Okay, I like this. This
We're
is
bringing
interesting.
instancing to Star Citizen in 2026. Why are we doing
Next
it,
year.
and how will it work?
Memoir!
So if you've played any content in 2025 in Star Citizen, you know that most of these areas were in actual PvP zones where other players could interfere. Instancing is a means to create an environment where designers can create tailored content that's tuned to a specific group size, but it is also protected
Death
from
to the
outside
griefers.
interference. It's not to say that we don't love PvP. I'm a PvP guy. PvP me, bro. But like most MMOs, a good balance between a dangerous overworld and a protected instances is needed. Right now, we don't have this ability, and this is something we really need in order to give you a sense of progression that is tailored and balanced to a tunable amount of groups, so the difficulty matches the group size. There's a beginning and an end. It doesn't mean that that doesn't fit in our overworld strategy, meaning getting to the instance is dangerous, exiting the instance is dangerous, or can be interfered with others. But at least when you're playing the content, we can actually make something that's curated for one experience.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm
So before
totally up for
anybody
instancing.
says this is only a PvE thing, this technology can also be applied to unlock curated PvP experiences that are as seamless as the PvE ones. So it's not about one thing or the other. It's really about unlocking developers' ability to create curated content. So that said, how will it work? Instancing is really an evolution over static to dynamic meshing. We want your instances to be as seamless as your instance hangars, meaning that when you take an elevator, you exit the elevator, you're inside the instance. A gateway opens,
we already kind of do that.
you cross
kind of.
that gateway, you're now into your instances. Could be also a quantum jump into an instance that you don't even see. The transition is just like a dynamic mesh transition. And so throughout the universe, we will be able to add these areas that are open or closed instances that allow you to join in either with a party and have a reserved instance for your party, or join an open instances that has a number of slots. And so some of those areas will be completely instanced on different servers. This allows us to leverage the compute power of the entire mesh. The closed ones will be really to drive one piece of content. You enter and exit seamlessly, just like we do with your instance hangars currently. Let's go and find out what one of our first instances will be.
Oh, nice content.
Siege of Arisen was an event we did previously, which created a gameplay scenario where the player had to run through and progress through contested islands of Arisen.
Yeah, no, I really liked it actually, to be fair.
High-intensity event, but it struggled a little bit from its technical execution. But now with the introduction of instancing, it gives us an opportunity to evolve it and modify it and make it better for you in a small group to work through that activity.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm well up for this.
It's an event that I had the honor of pretty much solely designing and building all of the logic and having the stress of trying to get it working.
Agent Olli from the CDF puts the call out for volunteers because basically the Nine Tails have taken over sort of a cluster of floating platforms in Orison.
And you
I
are
really
there
like this
to
event, actually.
kill these sort of lieutenants of this terrorist organization and take back control.
It was kind of like hopping islands. It was,
So
I
in our
liked
current
it.
thinking, Siege of Arison is designed for about 15 to 20 people fire team. So you, your friends, or your org will go in, you'll all have sort of dedicated roles. Some of you might be the tank who brings in the heavy weapons and sort of pulls the fire. Some of you might sit at the back and be the sniper and pick people off who are a bit further to make the advance easier. Some of you will be the medic who sole job is going to be revive and look after the rest of your team and the health of them.
What's that helmet, man?
And some of you will be the people who push for the objectives to try and get sort of most of the mission done. The event was designed for about 15 to 30 people, but when we released it, we fixed the problem with 2 DGSs on one server that was fighting for resources. And with that, we also upped the player count to 100. So when it first debuted, it was already too full for what it was designed for.
It was a massive operation at the time. I think that bringing it back and giving it a refresher will be a fantastic addition back into the PU.
I'm really happy because I was sad that it disappeared, to be fair.
Instance that you could go in and play solo, or if it was a public event that you could go with your friends, or you could join up with random players on the server. There's lots of ways that we want to take a look at Siege, how we can make it a more approachable piece of content.
I'm excited, to say the least, to bring back Siege of Orison to Star Citizen and to sort of have it be one of the first tests that we have for instancing and really get it back to sort of a core experience point where it should be. So while the next season is quite heavily focused on NYX, I'm also very happy that we're not really ignoring our other two systems of Standard and Pyro, and we're going back there and we're sort of improving and expanding on the player's life in those two systems as well.
I'm super buzzing about this, guys. I don't know about you. Are you guys excited to see this mission come back? I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
But sometimes it didn't work.
Things like Genesis, interstellar hauling, crafting, Siege of Orison, and more will reveal next year will continue to bring life into the existing universe outside of NYX.
Where's he going with this?
One more exciting use for instancing we're building right now. It's an earlier look than normal, and some of it is still in white box, but we're excited to share the first look at a major content release of 2026.
Okay.
And what it means for progression-based gameplay. As an evolution of our building interior initiative, you won't discover it by accident, because when it's complete, it will be found deep within the heart of Levski itself. This is the Municipal Works.
It's dungeon.
So inside the facility, you'll find huge vaporization chambers, old processing plants, industrial tunnels, and eventually into the old turbines which are still pumping heat into the old rock.
So this is the true history of Levski. This is a place where you won't see in Lorville, you won't see in I-18 or the other landing zone. It's the pure basis of Levski. You will have, of course, metal and tunnels and more structural place, but you will also see a lot of rock and cave. So it's not a place you go to take vacation. It's really a place you go to fix stuff.
Not everybody has what it takes to come down there and do the job that needs to be done.
All of your sewage systems have stopped working. Everything's going to quite
Isn't
literally.
this the Area 18
And
stuff
so
they were talking
the
about
player
last
is
year, or
tasked
am I
with their
going
group,
crazy?
most likely, to go into there, take out the outlaws and get the facility working again.
Is this different? This sounds like
So
a
let me
similar
get this
thing.
straight. This is literally a mission to fix the toilets of Levski.
It's not just the toilets. You're also trying to turn on the air. Air is a bit more important. It still works in Levski, but they have maybe polluted air because it's not being cleared properly. It's not just for the toilet.
Poop mission.
It's also a little bit more exciting than just going into some vents. It's like a 3-layered system where there's 3 chapters.
This will be mission-driven and repeatable. Everything from mining to salvage to combat to investigation, a variety of roles. Narratively, it's a real sandbox. Every progression you do will unlock a new area that will link back to previous areas, complexifying the play space.
Yeah, no.
We've been wanting to have more gameplay around landing zones for a long time. Now that we have instancing tech coming online, that allows us to do something that provides really cool gameplay close to a landing zone.
With the missions, that's what will create different overlays or change the spaces or change the progression, but it'll be the instancing which will enable us to create tailored content
Fire
for
on
you
the poop deck.
and your group. So you're going to be able to play a part of it, make your progress, and then log off. And then the next time you come online, you'll be able to pick up where you left off.
It's going to allow players to return back to it at different states depending on how much you've progressed and be able to keep it going until you've reached sort of the end of the whole 3 chapters.
Where you're not going to have other people getting in your way. It's you, your team, your party.
It's a way of giving players content where they know exactly where they're at and they can keep going back to it and improving sort of their own progress and ability to jump through them in faster and faster times as well.
Okay, that's cool. I like the idea of it's
So
instant
that's a
and
look
stuff.
at how we'll be allowing players and developers alike to create
still 15
more
minutes for
crafted
something.
experiences
I feel like there's
within
one more
the greater
thing.
sandbox of the persistent universe.
There's one more thing.
Okay, is that it for me at this point, Jared?
Almost.
throw it back to me, and I've got one more for you after this.
Yeah, one more
Back
thing.
to you, Jared.
He's like...
Everybody's really excited about the year ahead. So that's a brief look at some of the ways in which we're allowing you and our developers to craft a more curated Star Citizen experience. Now, at this point in the show, we are in the home stretch. We've got only one more segment to go.
One more second.
We do that, we wanted to check out, we said earlier in the show that we would look at what you were saying during the show. We looked at how to put YouTube comments on the stream, and it was immediately apparent that we were going to lose our broadcast license, so we're not going to do that. We did find some social media stuff on Twitch, though, or not Twitter, X. What is it called now? Let's see what this says. Let's see, we've got Welcome Back Levski from, I'm not wearing my glasses. Oh no.
From someone.
Oh, time to suit up. Let's go get him, says Ubu. I really should have worn my glasses. Cue the bagpipes. That's the other game, Charlie Oscar. Let's see. Nice to see you live, Jared. Mom? Let's see. First CitizenCon after playing for almost a decade in Austin. Oh, nice. Straight out of Klesher, back to the Hex. Photos from Leicestershire. How do you say it? Is that Leicestershire? Leicester? Leicester? I probably... Geez, I've only been in the UK for 3.5 years. At San Jose Bar Citizen Watch Party. Oh, somebody created a lovely Vanduul mask there. Sean Tracy, can we get that in game? Just that, exactly. Just scan that, put that in game. All right, so that's a few reactions we're seeing on social media right now. Before we get to our big finale, or the thing we're going to wrap up the show with today,
there's a big finale.
I do want to talk a little bit about big CitizenCon versus digital CitizenCon versus what we're doing today, which is CitizenCon Direct. Every year, CitizenCon is a monumental task for any number of people, whether that's development, marketing, the support teams, the platform teams. Everybody comes together.
What's it going to be, chat? Let me know what the big finale is going to be. I want to hear some thoughts.
Hopefully without a hitch. And so far, we've been doing all right, other than some stuff in the room here. You know who you are. They had to know. But doing CitizenCon is not always the easiest thing for our developers. You might not assume this, but most game developers are not social butterflies. They tend to like to sit quietly in the dark at their computers, like little goblins, and just make digital virtual worlds like this. And then I come in all happy and like, hey, you want to be on video? And they're like, no. And I'm like, it's in your contract. And they're like, oh yeah. So we thought, we usually do it behind the scenes afterwards, we thought we'd do a little bit of it here. The folks in the editorial department put together a brief montage of some of the more candid moments from the filming of CitizenCon over the last couple of weeks, so we're going to spend 2 minutes and take a look at that. Let's see what they put together.
How many CitizenCons have you performed in now?
Performed? Just the one.
Nope, my first one.
1 last year. 2.
A few.
8 or 9?
Maybe 9 or 10?
Never.
Man, I don't know, man.
Did you like doing it?
Yes, I was completely terrified.
It was good. Bit stressful.
The first live one, I was a mess.
Weird combination of going from insane highs to insane lows.
Live ones.
Because?
It's over.
The live ones are pretty special.
Pre-samp's always fun, but the live events are special, aren't they?
Remember we were at that weird crack house in Ancoats?
Right.
I like the live ones. Oh, I mean, I love these digital ones. These are the best.
Every time I've done it, it has been a digital one, and I'd like to do one on stage.
Is it because you have a restraining order against you, or?
Didn't know if I was going to be sick. If I was
Got him.
Lose my stomach.
How hard is it to keep your eyes open on stage?
That's another problem with the lights. They're kind of, I'm realizing through this sentence that I'm closing my eyes as I speak. Do I do that a lot?
I am a very shy individual, so this is me just trying to get out of my shell.
Getting the crowd to react to the ideas that we've been working on for so long.
We can react. Watch. Everybody. Yay!
Yay!
I can feel your passion from here.
Cut the camera. Counting you down in like 30 seconds. I'm like, do I stand up? Do I sit down? Do I drink? Do I not? Do I talk?
This will be the best one yet. That's right. because it's nice and short.
What's going to be the last thing, guys? The finale. What's it going to be? Here we
Of
go.
all your nicknames, why is Moist Master your favorite?
I think you mean least favorite, and because it has the word moist in it. I mean, come on.
We'll give you a new nickname by the end of this.
Sounds good. Could do
All
with
right,
one.
Let's get started.
So for those of you watching at home or at the watch parties, you're like, why are we showing that? I put that in there because I'm eternally grateful for all of the CIG staff and developers who take the time to appear on these things, whether it's ISC, SCL, CitizenCon, walk on stage, be pre-recorded. It's not the easiest thing for everybody. And on behalf of the community, if I can speak for them in this regard, I want to say thank you for participating in these things each and every year that we have them.
Thank you for watching it with me, guys.
Wrap
I
things up here.
love you genuinely for being here with me.
Let's see, how do I want to do this? At this point, we've only got one major story left to tell. But before we do that, we wanted to do one more check-in on something we started last year. Last year, Rich Tyler took the stage and presented his roadmap to 1.0. And we didn't want to go an entire year without talking to the senior game director himself to get his update on that 1 year later. So we're going to throw it to him, and we're going to go to our last segment, and when we come back, we'll say our goodbyes. And if you're at a watch party, it's time to get... I was going to say... that's not a word I can say on the camera. Let's just go. Let's just throw it back to me. Go to me.
Well done, Jared. You held it back. Good job. Nah, it's been great having you guys watch it with me. It's been really nice. Thank you. We've had a really nice, awesome, wholesome stream. A lot of good reactions.
Last year, Senior Game Director Rich Tyler took to the stage and revealed our plan for 1.0.
It was
now,
awesome.
Before we end this year's CitizenCon Direct, we wanted to take a few moments and follow up on that reveal from last year, to do as we've done today and look at the year ahead. So, Rich, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Well, you're welcome.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it. Everybody knows the only constant in game development is change. So I'm going to ask you outright, what's changed about the road to 1.0?
Well, fortunately, nothing. It still remains our North Star. The team is busy working towards that goal in the background, and every patch this year has moved us towards that goal. And if you haven't watched the Star Citizen 1.0 presentation from last year, I highly recommend you do so.
You can watch me react to it.
Still relevant.
It's on my channel. Just saying.
You mentioned every patch this year has moved us towards that goal, so I want to dig deeper into that. We've done, at this point, 9 releases in this year, more than any year prior. How does each one of these not just sit as their own moment in time, but move us forward on this road to 1.0?
Well, last year I discussed the framework of 1.0, how all those complex systems can tie together. And one of the core aspects of that was the main story, which became the spine of the universe, which brought all of the locations, mission givers, guilds, and all the different areas of the game to the players. Now, what I didn't talk about from last year was all of the content that was going to support that framework, add the flesh to the bones, should we say. And I think that's where this year has moved us towards that goal. If you think about previous events of previous years, they've generally been locations that we've put into the verse, but they've been transient. We've taken them away, like Siege of Orison or Zenithreat. We've added them to game, and then they've been moved away. And I think with the addition of the patches this year, when you look at the Hathor facilities, Onyx facility, these are permanent additions to the world that not only have their own story, as when we release them with the patches, but they'll also become points of interest and areas that the larger 1.0 narrative will utilize.
Since we're on story, I'm going to stay with this here. Since we launched the PU back in 2015, it's always been this sandbox where players can do what they want. They can bring their own story to the verse,
guys.
And that'll never change. But how important is it that we also build this concurrent narrative of our own, this crafted experience, if you will, alongside that?
Well, we're trying to create a living, breathing universe. And that includes both the player stories that you mentioned, that they can go and enjoy and create their own memories together. But it also means that we want to have a universe that gives back. We want areas and locations to feel like they're believable and real life locations. And if you look throughout this year and the patches that we've worked towards, we've had an overarching story that's moved from patch to patch, and we're going through some of those cycles right now. We've also been introducing mission content that has fully voiced dialogue and facial animation, which allows us to inject some of the meaning and the why to what you are doing as a player. And I think story is integral to Star Citizen as a connective tissue that ties all of these different complex systems together, because it takes players on that journey throughout the game.
To see this big turn this year to start injecting story into the verse, I think people are really responding to it. So everybody knows, and you mentioned just now, that this year we changed a whole lot about how we operate and how we release things. How do you think that's gone?
I think it's gone very well.
I agree. There's been a lot of content this year.
The mantra that I've always been pushing
ships.
this year, at the beginning of January, was.
And I think next year we're going to start really seeing
a different development strategy
with NYX
for how we've been moving the game forward. That's where this different strategy has allowed us to really take a wider approach. And we also have to remember that Star Citizen is played by tens of thousands of players every day. And while we have lofty future goals, we still have to make decisions right now that make the game fun for the people that are playing it all the time, playing it as their daily game. If you look at previous years, we've had to hold a patch back, we've had to make concessions, mainly due to around a feature may not have been ready or right to go into there.
There were 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 5 months between patches.
Exactly, and I don't think that's good for anybody. I don't think it's good for the players. I don't think it's good for the development team. I think it's better to have regular cadence of drops. One good example is this year for A Line of Mine. People probably don't know, but A Line of Mine, when you turned on the laser, it was actually supposed to reveal the sandworm Valakar. And I played it, and it didn't hit the quality that I wanted to go into the game.
I knew that, by the way.
So we changed, and I took it out, and I made that decision alongside Chris and Erin, and we've held that back, and we're going to work on that towards a future patch. But I think definitely the more regular cadences has had the multiple benefits, and like I said, I want to dispel a myth right here, right now. Like, features are still being worked on quite heavily in the background, from radar and scanning in FPS, the new quantum, imagery, engineering, and crafting.
So we are working on
all
features.
Of those features are
Didn't mention base building, by the way.
Very, very soon for players to get their hands on. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and say that if I was to go back to the start of the year, I would hope that we would have released more features. But I also think every decision we've made this year has been through the lens of making the live experience as stable and as good as possible.
Absolutely. All right, so that's a bit about the year before. And the year before has been, I've said this before, I've said it internally, I've said it out there, I'm gonna say it right now again on camera. I think this has been the best year of Star Citizen ever. And I'm willing to look right into the camera and say that.
It has been a lot of...
Player numbers are up, engagement numbers are up, the length of the play sessions are up, bug numbers are down, 30K is gone. It's been a solid year. But CitizenCon isn't CitizenCon without talking about the future, so I want to move us to the future. We've talked about story, we've talked about this more diegetic, immersive universe and adding voice lines and stuff like this. But where do we go from here? Obviously that continues, but what more are we going to do to make this universe seem alive and real and breathing?
I think the biggest thing is to start having that conversation be two-way. So if you think about this year, like you mentioned, we've been having fully voiced NPCs, but a lot of those missions and those NPCs, they're talking to you, they're talking at you. Right. You don't get to talk back to them. Now, obviously, you get to interact with them through your actions. You get to go and do their mission, and you get to move that along, and then they talk to you again. But it's a one-way conversation.
We're missing that conversation wheel.
Exactly. The next part would be physical mission givers. That's something that we're going to be working towards very soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
With Battaglia being the first one coming back in the verse. And just to be clear, we will be bringing all the mission givers eventually back, and we want them to be an integral part of the verse and the story.
Because that sort of thing could be instance, like you go into a bar and you're the only person that walks into that bar.
And as we mentioned
for example,
last year, we want to have interactive scenes that you can go and be part of. And obviously the full end goal is towards, you know, to have cinematic stories in the game. And that is what we're going to be pushing towards. Everything we do, every decision we make, is through the lens of moving us closer to 1.0. It might sometimes be difficult.
It was an example, Niall, relax.
Why those decisions have been made at the time they've been made. But rest assured that Star Citizen 1.0 is still our North Star. That's what we're still aiming towards, and that's what we're going to be moving forward with every patch next year as well.
I'm remembering when mission givers were first introduced, they sometimes became a bottleneck. Is there a role in instancing, which we learned about earlier today? Is there a role for instancing in that, in
Absolutely.
helping with mission givers?
Yes, partially. It will be one mechanism that will allow us to have players go to their own individual area of the verse, have that conversation, and then go and continue on into the open world environment. So I think that's where, when we look at instancing provides us one tool that allows us to remove that bottleneck and provide a more seamless experience.
Happy you said that.
It's the
that's one of our last topics I want to get to, is how we reconcile instancing with the persistent universe. Like, for the last 10 years now, we've been building this giant, seamless, persistent universe where everybody can come in and play together. And it would be easy to have a first instinct reaction to the idea of instancing and say that's antithetical to everything that Star Citizen. But you mentioned last year these 3 pillars of building Star Citizen in the PU, and I want to know, you said nothing changed, but I want to ask you about this specifically. What are those 3 pillars again, and how does instancing fit within the greater design of Star Citizen?
So the 3 pillars I mentioned last year were open world. That's just like the missions you love today. You can go and play, there's other players there, and you can go and enjoy that together. Then we have instancing, which I'll talk a bit about more, but similar to municipal works that we've talked about previously. And then the 3rd pillar was dynamic content, which would be content that's generated by the activities of the players. And I think it's very easy to become myopic around one specific thing when we're talking about it a lot, when it's the next stage of our development. And I think you could reverse it. If we'd have made a game that was all instance, and then I'd come on camera and said, hey guys, we're going to start doing it open world, it would be like, oh, is the game changing? Are we doing open world now? Is open world the new North Star that's going to take us this way? And it's not. It's just one more tool that's going to allow us to offer different and dynamic experiences for players to go and engage in. Now, when I talk about instancing isn't always what you'd imagine as a solo instance experience where it's only just you. We're going to have several different versions of instances. Some are going to be closed instances, which will be like the new player experience. We'll be able for you to go in by yourself, for us to teach you the ropes in a safe environment so that you can understand how to play the complex game that we've made. But we'll also have open instances like a cantina or a bar where we might say, hey, we only want 50 people to come in here because we've got mission givers and we've got other NPCs for you to talk to, and you would just walk in and it would be seamless. You wouldn't know that there was an instance. It's not going to get a loading screen.
Didn't pre-watch.
You would just seamlessly walk into that location.
Did not pre-watch, guys.
Players and NPCs, and you can go and enjoy the content.
They're onto me.
And that's, I think, something that instancing is going to provide us.
Bad.
It's going to give us a tool to offer.
No one's going to believe me now that I didn't see it. The predictions at the beginning and that.
It allows us to create experiences that are different to the open world experiences that we've already made. And it's not to say that we won't continue our open world development or only do instance content. It's going to be a mix.
I genuinely don't have insider info.
This is one of the pillars that will move us towards 1.0. We will eventually work on dynamic content that will move us towards 1.0, and all 3 of those pillars will interweave to create the full Star Citizen experience.
Yeah, take that.
Right, so we've hit a lot of the bigger topics, the feature work, engineering, and FPS crafting coming to tech preview soon, stuff like this. We've talked about instancing and how that's going to work within the universe. But I want to ask you this one last big one. It's very easy to say Star Citizen is this kind of game and that kind of game. Those of us who spend our days making it know better. It's an everything game. It's everything we can make it game. It just is. But at the core of this is still spaceships. That life of spaceships. What more can you tell us about spaceship gameplay in the future? What can you give us? What can you tee up for us to look forward to for those of us who are really into Star Citizen for the spaceships?
Our intentions going forward are to make sure that every ship or ship archetype that you acquire has a role and has content that you can go and enjoy in the universe. For example, right now I know that we're working on more robust mining missions, more robust salvage missions.
Nice.
We're going to be working on refueling missions.
Nice.
And we want to make sure that each and every one of the ship has a purpose and has a reason to exist in the game. That's from the smallest Argo MPUV, as well as ground vehicles, all the way up to the large capital ships. We want to give them purpose. And I think it's something that we are absolutely aware of. We want to make sure that we're building that spectrum of content to allow players to go and engage in. And I think 2026 is going to be a very good year for Star Citizen.
But the script
and I think there's going to be something that's very interesting and something that a lot of people have been waiting for. But rather than me spoil it, I'll let Ian and the team go into the details on that.
He had a twinkle in his eye. Ian, take it away.
Here we go. By the way, not an insider, just on the same wavelengths as CIG, because I've been following the project for so long. I'm just smart, guys. That's it. That's it. No insider, just smart.
So the persistent universe has existed for over 10 years now. During that time, we've created lots of gameplay systems. We've added hundreds of locations. We've added lots of mission activities for different purposes: combat, cargo, mining, salvaging. But for combat ships, the only thing you've been able to do is fight other combat ships. In 2026, this changes. We're going to be delivering a spaceship-focused activity space which incentivizes the use of different gameplay roles. These are going to be scenarios where you're going to have to plan and strategize and create operational tactics to overcome your objective. So what you're going to see is very early. It's early in the pipeline process, and it's going to come online about mid next year. But we're really excited about the content we're creating. So we want to share with you a super early look.
I have no idea how this is going to go, chat.
In a space we're calling Tactical Strike Groups.
Oh, Idris. Very nice. Polaris, Paladin, Gladius. Off we go, boys.
The People's Alliance are still trying to get to the bottom of what this new faction is really doing in the NYX system.
They've sent a capital ship to check out a station and run into more than they can take care of themselves.
Unfortunately, that team came under attack and members of their groups were taken hostage. Now they've reached out to Intersec, who've reached out to you to help recover the pilot. Of course, it's unwise to do this alone, so you'll need to put a team together to attack the station.
That's more than a team, that's a fleet.
This big asteroid, kind of broken asteroid, and on this you will have this space where you will find 3 big arms.
Okay.
You will see in the middle, you will have this big energy core. Everything here has a purpose. It's not just for the show, just something nice to see.
You'll see a People's Alliance-owned Idris that's just on the outside, and it's going to be getting harassed by this unknown faction that you have met before.
So your first objective here is to clear out the ships. There'll be waves of these ships, so this is where you want your light or your medium or your heavy fighters, whichever place to
more mission content, guys. This isn't like a lot of mission content.
So while one part of your group is dealing with the fighters, now it's time to actually assault the station.
That's not how that goes.
This station has been outfitted.
Turrets always kill
to
me
resist
instantly.
all of the obvious way of attacks.
Somehow they've incorporated Vanduul capital ship killing turrets. These turrets ignore small fighters, and they have the firepower to destroy even the biggest capital ships.
Okay.
Your Polaris and your Idris, if you get it close, it will get shredded. The idea of these is so we can sort of make it so we can mix up that ship combat, and not everyone can just bring the biggest ship and win just because they have the biggest ship.
You have to send out your best pilots to navigate the superstructure and take down anything that may damage your bigger ships.
Wait, you mean my Idris can't?
So at this point you're thinking, destroy the turrets. but it's not that easy. This turret has shields that you've never seen before. It won't take any kind of damage. Your missiles won't do anything. Your lasers won't do anything. Your ballistics won't do anything.
It's
to
invincible,
them. But like
guys.
everything, they do have a weakness. You have to cut the power to their shields. To do that, that actually brings you to your first objective, the power relays.
So the exterior has a number of power relays.
Oh my God, it's
that are
like a
holding
Death
the
Star.
doors closed so that you can't get in.
You have to find them, you have to target them, and you have to destroy them. But it may not be as easy as it seems.
Here's our first wrinkle. The power relays have their
Red
own
5.
shields that are resistant to energy-based
Shoot, man.
We know how much you like using laser repeaters, but so do these guys.
Capital ship can't get close enough because of the turrets.
So ships with explosive or ballistic ordnance will be needed here. That's torpedo ships like your Retaliator or Gladiator, or even another fighter with ballistics loadout. That's gonna take you a while.
So not your big ship, your biggest ship.
Once the power relays have been taken down, the station opens up.
And this is where things get really cool.
Now it's time for you to fly your ship inside the station.
Oh my word.
You
It's literally
your ship
Death Star.
flight into the superstructure of this station.
How cool is that?
I feel like this is a proud dad moment. Thank you, Jared.
We're just gonna call it what it is. It's a trench run.
Trench run.
Oh my God, they're actually doing the trench run.
So as you enter the structure, you'll see cooling units along the sides of
Oh no, guys. I'm never going to be able to do this on stream.
There's 3 arms to the station that have these trenches. You'll fly into one, and then there'll be a core in the center, and then you'll move out another trench.
You're either gonna do it multiple times, or you need to bring friends.
At this point, the core is still protected, so these are essentially strafing runs.
There are objects to avoid. You're going to have to be able to dodge. You're going to have to move quickly. You need an agile ship.
Because the shield generator that you're targeting is emitting lots of distortion damage.
So you can't...
Once the cooling units are out, that exposes the core to overheat, which means that you can attack it from the inside and also from exhaust ports on the outside of the station. This core is armored and just takes a whole lot of damage.
No, they didn't just do that. Oh my God, in the background I can hear Disney lawyers.
Once the power core goes down, the turrets come down, and then the capital ships can get closer. Why is that important? Because during all of this, you spend a lot of ammo and munitions and ballistics, and you're going to want to top up.
This is where we're gonna get our new feature in, ship hangar refueling and rearming.
Nice.
You're gonna be able to land in the hangar of select ships and be able to use the same interface as you are right now at stations to refuel and rearm.
It's specifically for ships like the Idris.
That's the ammo box that we saw earlier. So you're going to store the ammo box and then just repair and whatever.
Of course, it'll be more than just those 2 ships, and you'll find out more once we get closer to release. But this is a really important feature that we're really excited to get out.
Yeah, no, this is huge. This is because you're going to have the crafting in there, right?
Alliance has an Idris there that can provide a safe port in a storm, allow you to set back up and head back out.
And it's a good thing that you've rearmed and refueled too, because now another group of ships is coming to attack the People's Alliance Idris.
This is such a big mission. Holy shoot, man. Like, this mission is crazy.
So while the fighters are protecting the Idris, what's happening at the station? Well, that's where the dropships come in.
Now you've got to take a fire team in. You've got to land, you've got to fight through an onslaught of FPS enemies that belong to this unknown faction, and you've got to open a hangar door which will allow you to release captives from the station.
Oh, cool. You're going to have, like, freaking NPCs to free. That's awesome. This looks cool.
You've opened the doors and that person's taken off. You've just got to make sure they get to safety.
Nice.
So at this point, all of this sounds pretty simple, but there's an additional complication.
So up until this point, it's just been you versus the enemies in the station. But the enemies in the station have their own enemies.
The Vanduul neighbors who really don't like these guys for some reason will come in and wreak havoc on everything.
And they're not going to discriminate between you and the station. They're out for blood. When you alert the Vanduul by destroying the power core that...
I don't know if I'm cut out for this mission, guys.
You're on a time limit. Vanduul are coming, they're going to come hard, they're going to keep coming. You're going to have one hell of a fight.
I don't, honestly, it seems too hard, man. Damn. Oh, no. Please, no. No, don't, no.
And in the future, we can use this to expand on. So I hope you're all just as excited as I am with Tactical Strike groups. They're gonna be fantastic.
Do you remember Jump Town? Leapfrog how many years to this? It's just wild, man. That's crazy.
Okay.
Did you eat your pizza, Jared?
Why do you still have the puppet? John, come home. All right, so tactical strike groups. You know, it's been a long road for the last 10 years. The PU's been around. We've done lots to build stuff for mining ships and for salvage ships. And as Rich said, we're currently building out even more for those. And our first refueling missions coming online in 2026.
I got some thoughts.
But combat missions. Oh, hi, Aaron Roberts. But finally having enough of the foundation in place that we can begin to build real spaceship operations, hesitate, you know, in any other MMO they'd call dungeons. It's really exciting for me, and that's why we're ending the show this year with that.
Not an insider.
So yeah, that's been CitizenCon Direct. Thank you for taking the time to share this with us. Again, this is just a glimpse at some of what's coming in 2026. I've seen the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat like, oh, you're spoiling everything. I promise, we ain't. So before we let you go, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as with every CitizenCon, the last word shouldn't be mine. It should belong to our founders and CEO. So take it away, Chris.
Oh,
Roberts.
Chris, nice.
I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into some of what the team is cooking for the near future.
He's cooking.
Of course, we're not going to spoil everything that's currently in progress, and many features we haven't discussed today are in active development, like base building, social, and trade tools that are very much a priority. These, along with bringing the final
now my
features
list is
from
complete.
Squadron 42
Chris, why?
into the System universe, will make next year the most exciting yet for Star Citizen. Finally, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone at CIG for working so tirelessly and with so much passion to deliver something that is already special and will only get more so as we continue. And of course, to all of you for making all this possible with your support and feedback. We couldn't do this without all of you, something that I and the team appreciate every day. We are very lucky to be allowed the time and the money to build the game of all of our dreams. Something that is only more apparent as the video game business becomes more monolithic.
I wish I had the CIG t-shirt underneath for the meme.
There is no way we would be allowed to dream as big as we are on an original game and take the time to achieve that dream if we were part or funded by any of the few remaining mega game companies. So thank you. And
we're looking back at that
to
list,
seeing
guys.
You all in the verse this coming year.
Oh, Chris literally just finished off my list there at the end. Right, okay. I'm gonna... Right, just 1 minute. Let me read my predictions. God damn it. Okay. Okay, there's stuff on here that wasn't in the presentation. NYX System Coming. Tick. Small LTI Ship. No. We had, I mean, the smallest ship we saw was the Drake thing, the Drake Cutlass Frankenstein ship, which looked cool. So that was wrong. New big boy ship or tour. So new big boy ship. I guess the Stinger is a big boy ship, right? Base building, doubt, but hope. I mean, we got a tick for that. Engineering, we didn't see. That's a cross. New armor, yes. Planet Tech, yes. Vanduul coming, yes. 1 second. Let's go to... That was a 2 hour, 20 minutes. Vanduul coming, yes. Social updates, really hopeful but doubt. Tick, cross, because it was mentioned but right at the end. Personal hangar updates. Now, can you count crafting in the personal hangar as a tick? Kind of? Dude. Yes, I watch LTT. Of course I do. I love tech. Oh, man. Oh, that's wild. No, just to be clear, I'm going to say this to the camera. The last time I was in Manchester was a while ago, and I've only ever been to Manchester once in my life. I don't speak to anyone in Manchester. I haven't spoken to anyone from Manchester in a long time. Okay. I have said that I went to Manchester a while ago, but that was purely because that was just like a social thing. That wasn't like Ollie gets all the information. So I went to Manchester. I spoke to some people at CIG. That's all that happened. They were not it was so long ago. It was not soon, and it was not recent enough that I would have got any CitizenCon information. It just wasn't. So, just to dispel any, like, Ollie knew everything. I just took an educated guess, okay? Which is what I would say if I was an insider. And under here, it does say property of Chris Roberts, but I'm not taking the hoodie off. So, yeah. So he says, I know, right? It was awesome. Okay, chat, let's recalibrate. What did we think of that? Because there's a lot to break down. I don't want to go into frame by frame of the conference because we've been streaming for, what, 5.5 hours now? But man, some of that stuff was really cool. I need to go to the website. Hang on, let's load up the website. Let's just see. I'm just gonna load up a thing. I want to see those ships. I want to see what they cost. I want to see what's going on because apparently there's stuff for sale. There is. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Now I'm gonna say this now. I don't know what they're doing, but there's a link in the description to the impound. Also, use your brain. There's a link to the impound down below. Save 5%. I don't know if these ships are on the impound right now. It looks like their website is crashing, which is fun because the video won't even play. Let's see if I can go to this page. We'll have a look. So we've got the... Oh my god, the website is literally crashing. Esperia Stinger. Strike Fear. So this is a... Oh, look at that. It's so menacing. If looks could kill. It's really cool. Did an amazing job. And I love the fact that it kind of sits on the wings. Hang on. Oh, I just need to change something. Properties. Capture cursor. Yes. Hello. Oh no, I lost it. Come on, behave. Really? You're gonna do me like this? Okay. Well, in that case, I'll add a new source. Gosh darn it. Oh, now you're gonna... I'm a professional streamer, guys. Hang on. Add source. Browser. No, not browser. Window capture. Here we go. Window capture. And we're going to do Stinger. Boom. Right. Boom. I think that looks good. Right. Cool. So yeah, I really like how it can sit on this here. Oh, it looks really cool. Who's picking this up? The code isn't this stream. It's in a different stream. Reread the information. I think you misread. It's a very cool ship. This asymmetrical as well, which is cool. It's pretty big. Damn. There it is. Oh my word. That's pricey. That's pricey. Oh, it's paints. Oh, the black and red one's nice. I don't know if you saw that. Okay, who's picking this up? Oh, we need to decide what the giveaway is going to be. Is it going to be this? Let's go back here. Go back to the homepage. We got the Paladin, the grey. I feel. Wait a minute. The Apollo's there. Okay. Password? Question mark. This is great. I think this is really. This is like. I really like this for a few reasons because it's so anti what they've been doing. Like it's not like anything they've done before. It kind of looks like the Razor Crest. Is it the Razor Crest? That silver looks so nice. It's the base paint, I think. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if you guys... Ooh, the black. Yeah. Hang on, let me just open up the... Oh, it's an update to the PTU. Hold up, we might be able to get in game and see these ships. Oh boy. Probably Stinger for the giveaway. We haven't announced what the ship is, but it'll be one of these. What would you like? That is my question. That's a pretty cool skin. Can I have more info? Why can I not see the image? It's a paint and I can't see the picture bigger. God damn it. What are you doing? I like this. I think this is cool. It's just cool factor. I don't know. It depends what it's like in game, honestly. The Shiv is a cool name for the ship. Let's have a look at the Paladin. Paladin. Oh, it's a chunky boy. Ready the guns. This is a big boy. This is the arguably the big boy ship of the thing. It's so much firepower. I need to know how much it is though. Factory standard. Oh, I like. See, this is better. The white and black is nice. Grey. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that might be my favorite actually. Oh boy. Okay. Internet spaceships are not cheap, huh? Who's picked one up? Anyone in chat bought one or upgraded to one? There's no way NYX is coming next month. It's coming next patch, they said. Shoot, I just realized I'm not even on screen. They said that it's coming 4.4. So, yes, I bought one. I've got one. I've got your stream going on 3 screens. That just seems unnecessary. Shiver me timbers, yeah. I got 2. That's insane. Is there anything else they put on the store like gear? Let's have a look. Pledge store? Like, kind of interesting if there's like armor and stuff. There is. So here we go. Here's the goodies pack. We're giving one of these away. If you want to win the goodies pack, you can check out the pinned comment on YouTube. This armor looks kind of neat. It's kind of like a Darth Maul vibe. It's quite a lot, actually. 2 guns. Yeah, it's quite nice. I like it. Pretty good. How is the price of the ship determined? I don't know. wild. I'm just curious on whether or not we can take a look at these ships in game. That is. Let's have a close look. Wait, why do these images not work? The website is literally collapsing. I think everybody is buying stuff and the website is collapsing. Because everyone's at home. That's kind of neat. That's a very powerful looking gun. The website is literally collapsing. It's wild. Size, features, and cost, yeah. Alien tax. Oh, that's pretty neat. Didn't tell me about that. Dude. Honestly, so, okay. Out of 10, guys, what did you think of Sitcom Digital? I feel like it swung so heavy to begin with. Like, the NYX stuff was so massive. The planet tech was amazing. I'm so excited to go and check out that planet and just, like, enjoy it, you know? But yeah, damn. Kind of insane. Oh, I got some ratings in chat. Let's have a look. 5,